fan had, where you want the team to win every single game. Do you have to sometimes like take a step back and recognize, wow, look at all these injuries. We've had to use 2 quarterbacks, but we still have 13 left. You know, the fan in you, how does it handle it?
Well, I'm taking the coach's cue on this. You know, you can say but and if all day long, but we got to go out next Sunday and do what we've got to do. And I know he's going to have them ready. And you got to get it done. The NFL is a week by week deal. And again, we do have the roster to get it done. And I'm proud of how the guys are fighting through and playing.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you, PA.
Mark Wilf, team president and co-owner of the Minnesota Vikings.
Thank you, Paul. And thanks to Mark Wilf as well. Vikings Football Sunday continues. Another early one for us. The Boom coming up at 8:30 at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Your Minnesota Vikings at 2-2 taking on the Browns 1-3 playing in London. The Vikings are the first team in NFL history to play back-to-back international games in different countries and the first team to play consecutive international games as the visiting team. And they're going to do that with a lot of injuries, especially for that offensive line. It's going to be interesting how this is going to work against one of the best defenses. That's all coming up on the way. This is Vikings football.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Shh, it's okay. Daddy's here. Rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. Josh Allen beat Daddy's team and really went off. When the game ends, Daddy's ranking will fall. And jerk-face Bill will win Fantasy League trophy and all.
Hon, have a Snickers.
Thanks.
And maybe take a break from the league chat.
You're distracted when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Hey Vikings fans, I'm Taylor of the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders, and here's our best kept secret, Pure Lux Med Spa. Laser hair removal at Pure Lux is a game changer. Voted best med spa and laser hair removal by the Star Tribune, they keep us game day ready with Botox, filler, and our favorite, the Diamond Glow Facial. Visit mypurelux.com/skull to book your appointment today. Pure Lux Med Spa, the preferred med spa of the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders.
As a leader in innovative ingredient solutions, Sam Nutrition offers a unique personal touch that only a family-owned business can provide. As your trusted partner in animal nutrition, we source the highest quality ingredients, ensuring you achieve optimal results. Discover how our family values drive us to connect industries and unlock peak performance across your entire operation with Sam Nutrition. Learn more by visiting samnutrition.com. Sam Nutrition, high performance, reasonable price, a proud partner of the Minnesota Vikings.
Vikings faithful, listen up. Your game day checklist is more than wearing purple and gold. It's about victory from the first play to the final whistle. During tense, close calls, Dove shampoo, body wash, and deodorant keep you fresh and dry from head to toe. And what's a true Vikings tailgate without the secret weapon to sliders and sides, Hellman's Real Mayo. Then when post-game dishes pile up like a defensive line, 7th generation detergent is the powerhouse that blitzes through the grease and grime. Stock up on Dove, Hellman's, and 7th generation. And Skol Vikings.
Discover the ultimate destination to live, work, and play at Viking Lakes. From top-tier office spaces in the Minnesota Vikings World Headquarters to exciting live entertainment and luxury apartment living, Viking Lakes has it all. Discover Viking Lakes residences with spacious apartments, best-in-class finishes, and unparalleled amenities. Our community sets the standard for suburban luxury. Are you planning a company holiday party or a fall picnic? Our venue is perfect for any event. For additional information, please visit explorevikinglakes.com. Experience suburban luxury like never before.
Minnesota Vikings pregame coverage continues now on FM 100.3 KFAN, Minnesota's home for football.
Welcome back. The kickoff between the Vikings and Browns is coming up shortly. This is Paul Allen. Excited to chat with Minnesota Vikings running back Xavier Scott. And the pregame chat is provided by Wildfire Restaurant in Eden Prairie. Now, The game in Dublin, before we get into Cleveland a little bit, the game in Dublin, my sources tell me that led by your mom and family members and your wife arrived day of the game and like had to hustle and get there, but they got there in time. And I know that probably was special for you.
My wife was able to make it a little bit early with her mom. This was her mom's birthday. They're celebrating. And then my mom, yes, she made it the day of the game and was able to make it and see the whole game. So that was special.
Any travel concerns for her, or like any delays, traffic, stuff like that? Because moms will have a tendency to panic when it involves their kids, and like, I got to be there for every snap. Was it nerve-wracking for her?
I think she has a strong piece about her, and I don't think she was worrying too much. And it was smooth. She made it safely, and I know that's something we were praying for too. So yeah.
And then Xavier goes out and scores the first touchdown of his National Football League career with your wife, your mom, and family members there. I mean, that's 10 of 10 memory.
Yeah, it doesn't get better than that.
Now, winning the game would have made it better, so hopefully you guys can win today. But again, before we get into that, Xavier attended, correct me if I'm wrong here, went to high school in Germany. All 4 years, or how much?
Went to high school in Germany my last 2 years of high school.
And so what was that like?
It was special. Looking back on it, it was awesome. But in the moment, I'm like, I do not want to go there. How am I going to play college football? Is this going to work out? And then sure enough, I was able to play college football and go from there to here.
So I know you were born in Texas, but like, did you live in Texas, before you went there?
No, we were moved from Virginia to Germany. I moved around a lot with my family. My dad's military, so we were stationed place to place.
So what would you say, just from what you can remember, or your trip over here now, with like, European culture compared to the United States and people and, the way they drive and just the whole thing? Like, what's dramatically different from Germany or London compared to, say, Minneapolis?
Yeah, I mean, Minneapolis is I think a lot better than some other cities, but for a big difference I see is just the pace of life. Like, people are a lot slower, like not in a bad way, but just more, seems like there's just a calmer pace that people tend to move at. I would say that's some of the bigger difference culture-wise. And then it's cool seeing the older buildings, the older architecture. That's super special. So, yeah, I love seeing it, and just how intentional they were, the design. I love that.
Do you speak German?
9.
No, not even Ich heiße Xavier.
Ich liebe Deutschland. I love Germany. I know a little bit, but not a lot. Not a lot of it.
Now, Cleveland's defense, these stats, 2.7 against the run on the per carry and 70-some-odd yards a game. We've heard about them all week. Outside of Myles Garrett, like, what makes this thing good?
I would say that they're really in tune with one another when they're making, whether that be blitzes or doing certain coverages. I think they play really well in how they go about doing so, and I think they have a lot of talent, a lot of speed, and some really good players all around him, for sure.
Well, with Myles Garrett, I mean, this is a 6-time All-Pro, 4-time first-team All-Pro, so he's the bomb. With the way the thing develops today, do you envision any times that you think you may run full speed into a full-speed Myles Garrett? And like, if so, what's that like? Or what do you think it might be like?
You never know when your numbers call what to do. We have plays just to do the best, set up, for the best we can. And so, I mean, you never know when that comes, and it's just going to be all of me, and I'm gonna give all of me, and that's all I know I can do, and that's control the controllables at the end of the day.
Last one, Xavier. Went from, the time you got here, practice squad last year, running scout teams, standing straight up like Jahmyr Gibbs, imitating David Montgomery, things like that, through training camp, making the team, preseason games, and then scoring your first touchdown. What would you say from a skill standpoint, just like the way you play, feeling or knowing, hey, I belong. You know what it is? I belong here. Like, what's changed? What has gotten better with you over the last year?
It's a great question. I would say what's gotten better with me is the mental side of things, just having a deeper understanding of the game and seeing it from different perspectives. I think that's been something that's been important for me, and even being able to quiet my mind even in the off season and visualize things, and still watching film, still kind of preparing that in the right ways. So I think that the biggest thing has been my mind has just been able to be, slower, calmer, see things the way they are, and be in the moment, and have like a supernatural just peace, just while I'm out there, and just trusting that God made me for this. Yeah. For a time such as this.
Well, God bless you, young man. It's been great getting to know you better, and thank you very much for the conversation in the pregame, and tear it up today, okay?
Yes, sir. I got you. Thank you.
That's Xavier Scott, running back for the Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings and Browns are around the corner. The conversation with Xavier, provided by Wildfire Restaurant, which is elite. Wildfire.com for more information. It's located at the Eden Prairie Center. My conversation with Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell is around the corner. This is the KFAN Minnesota Vikings audio network, driven by Polaris.
Every team needs a top pick, and every home does too. That's why pros and homeowners choose Andersen, the #1 trusted window and door brand. Built to last through every season, Andersen makes it easy with windows and doors that perform as great as they look. So whether it's scoring style points or tackling tough weather, you can trust your home to Andersen, the official window and door partner of the Minnesota Vikings. 2024 Andersen brand surveys of U.S. contractors, builders, architects, and homeowners. For warranty info, visit AndersenWindows.com.
For Minnesotans, the outdoors is home. Nobody gives you more ways to get there than Polaris. From Indian motorcycles and Ranger side-by-sides to Indy snowmobiles and Bennington pontoons, we bring Minnesota's best to every season. Our wooded trails, twisted highways, and the rugged shores of all 10,000 lakes are an invitation. A chance to let what's outside challenge what's inside you. Polaris. Think outside. A proud partner of your Minnesota Vikings.
Vikings fans, looking to upgrade your wardrobe? This local brand based in St. Paul will become your new go-to. Unreal is the premium athleisure brand that combines comfort, versatility, and style. Crafting elevated apparel that will take you from the office to the gym or the airport to the golf course. Wherever you go, they've got you covered. Shop now at unreal.com and experience the difference yourself. That's UNRL.com, the best athleisure wear in the game.
If you're in the market for a used vehicle, click on carswapusa.com.
We offer easy financing, complimentary oil change, and if you need it, we can deliver it.
Speaking of carswapusa.com,
you can browse hundreds of vehicles from your home.
If you're ready to buy a premium, hand-picked, late model, low mileage used vehicle, then check out your options at
carswapusa.com. We deliver.
Whether you're buying or selling, make CarSwap your first stop. CarSwap, a car for everyone.
Bring on Vikings football with new gear from Scheels. From jerseys, accessories, and signed collectibles, represent your team's iconic colors at the big game. Scheels is your ultimate shopping destination with knowledgeable experts and great customer service to get you fitted for your passion. Whether you love style, sports, or the great outdoors, find it at your local Scheels or Scheels.com. Our experts are here to make every day a win. Scheels, proud partner of the Minnesota Vikings and football fans everywhere.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Talk about convenient. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
Your radio home for Vikings football. FM 100.3 KFAN.
All right, now zero sleeps into the Vikings and Cleveland Browns here from Tottenham Hotspur. And this is the time we are privileged to chat with Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell, a former coach for the Cleveland Browns. First coaching opportunity, quarterbacks coach, 2015, I believe. Mike Pettine on your staff now gave you a big opportunity. That was not only gracious by him, but well-deserved by you.
Yeah, no, I think I've been asked about that a couple times this week, and looking back on those it was really my first year officially coaching, and with Josh McCown in the quarterback room amongst some other guys. Mike Pettine is the head coach, and just what an opportunity it was for me to kind of learn on the fly in a lot of ways, but also figure out very quickly who and what I wanted to be as a coach, and still look back on that season very fondly. I remember, just the adjustment even for, we had just had my oldest Caden at the time. And so you move my wife Leah from San Diego to Cleveland with a 2-month-old baby on her own by herself. We learned a lot about ourselves and our family and kind of, has a lot to do with, I think, where we are today.
Well, think about it. I mean, because sometimes, we don't see the forest for the trees because of everything in front of us. That was only a decade ago. Yeah. Doesn't it seem like it's like 20, 30 years ago?
It may seem like it's more than that. It really does. But and especially my son's almost as tall as I am now. So it does seem like time has flown by. But I think the feeling of time flying by is never lost on me on the experiences I've had along the way. And that was some of the early days where, wins were hard to come by for me early in my career. And sometimes you felt like, I know for a fact I learned very early that regardless of the result, my job was to show up every day and do the best possible job that I could in whatever role I was ever in early on in my career. And I think it's an important trait, whether you're the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings or the, director of special projects for the San Francisco 49ers, which I was the following year. Wow. After that, there's always a job to be done, and it should be done the right way and done in a way that you're proud of and most importantly, how it impacts the players, because that's what we're all here for.
Well, now to the game today against Cleveland. Game style will define itself, but is this a game you may need to throw to win?
Well, I think the one thing about it is it's a very, very good defense. It's a very good defense, both versus the run and the pass. They've got some really, really unique players throughout their defense that can impact the game. We've got to have a great plan, regardless of run or pass, PA, where our players can go out and execute as many snaps as possible where all 11 guys do their job. Because when we've done that this year, regardless of the opponent, regardless of any of the adversity that's hit our team from an injury standpoint, when we've gotten that, good things have happened for our team. So I'd like to see our guys go out and do that today, and let's see what happens. And then wherever the game takes us from there, you clearly have game plans and how you want the game to go. But the ball will get kicked off the boom, as you like to call it, and we'll figure it out from there. But we very much put a lot into throughout this whole trip. Specifically when we got to London, that we were doing everything in our power to go 1-0 this week.
The head coach and friend might want to cover his ears for this one. This will be the 12th different offensive line combination so far this season. Where does that put stress on what you do?
I can promise you I'm very much aware, of the 12 combinations. What it does is, going into a game, you put together the plan as best as you possibly can to try to help out where you can, try to alleviate some stress on some spots where you can, and then when some guys that maybe you weren't planning on having to help all that much, whether it's your center, your right tackle, or your left guard, whatever it may be, when you have to adjust on the fly, that's where I need to really be at my best and try to give as much clarity as I can to not only our players in the huddle but their guys coaching them, and that's where I was very encouraged by the way we were able to finish that game the other day, because that was a lot of that going on. And I think anytime you can be in that kind of chaos in a lot of ways, and you're dealing with things left and right from an injury standpoint, but still find a way to put 14 points on the board when you needed to try to make it a football game, that can be growth even in the struggle of not winning a football game, and our team believes that we're going to go out and win every game we play. So that's just what we've built here, and dealing with adversity is part of this process. So we know the task at hand. We know how we've prepared this week. We've prepared the guys that will be out there, and then we're going to have to adjust on the fly if things were to come up. But the Browns have to do the same thing. That's both teams on both sidelines in every game of the NFL season. So it's not anything unique to just the Minnesota Vikings, and we know that.
If this is a dumb question, just say move on. Dylan Gabriel, the rookie. Does much change with the defense when a quarterback is left-handed?
No such thing as a dumb question, but what I would say is this, the dominant hand normally leads to some dominant eye progressions and maybe some things set up by a good coaching staff that Kevin has, and Kevin especially, of just doing things that's quarterback friendly. You've got to be aware that, the blind side has changed. You've got to be aware of where maybe the preference to have that first progression may be. And then you got to try to do whatever you can to make whether a right-handed quarterback or left-handed quarterback, pass rush affects those guys the same way. The pressure can have an impact on that guy, speed him up. And then we got to be ready for the athleticism that he does have, regardless of which way he attempts to kind of navigate or even leave the pocket to go make a play with his legs or off schedule. We've got to account for that, because those loose plays in a game, as close as this one may be, PA, those ones can get you beat. And I know Flo and his staff have been preparing our guys all week the right way, and can't wait to see them play today.
Well, your fan base is just fantastic. I mean, all the purple that we saw before we walked in here, they're ready to go. Hopefully they're loud, because they certainly love your team.
Yeah, we've always had a great showing here, in London and Tottenham stadiums becoming. This is now the third time today that I've been to this stadium, and seeing the purple here and the excitement of our fans. It's one of the great aspects of having this job and being the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings.
See you after the game, and thank you.
Thanks, PA.
Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm Paul Allen. The boom in worldly fashion is around the corner. Vikings and Browns on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings audio network.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious, with multiple engine options and impressive towing. While Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability, making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. Visit ChevyDealOnline.com.
With its smart, sustainable water solutions, Pentair helps the world move, improve, and enjoy water, life's most essential resource. From great tasting water for homes and businesses, to energy-efficient pumping solutions, and everywhere in between, Pentair is focused on driving innovation that helps people and the planet thrive. Visit Pentair.com to learn how. Pentair, the official sustainable water partner of the Minnesota Vikings.
For the Vikings, growth is a team effort. Coaches maximize performance. Teammates push your limits. But in business, who's there to help you grow? Lumen, that's who. Like saving live broadcasts from lag time, helping deliver the in-stadium experience for fans with millions more around the globe, and bringing all the benefits of the cloud to your network, so it's as secure as a defensive line and as legendary as the fans that cheer them on. Welcome to the on-demand network that meets your demands. Learn more at lumen.com. Services not available everywhere.
The radio home of the Minnesota Vikings. FM 100.3, KFXM Minneapolis, St. Paul. The Fan.
Showtime, baby. Oh, you know what's going on. Let's go, Vikings. Let's go. Vikings on 3. 1, 2, 3. Get it up.
Minnesota Vikings football is on the air all across the Minnesota Vikings radio network. Vikings football is proudly presented by the following broadcast partners: Vizzy Hard Seltzer, your local Northland Ford dealers, Polaris, and by Mystic Lake Casino Hotel. Vikings football is also brought to you by the following: U.S. Bank, Jacob Leinenkugel's Brewing Company, 3M, and by Lumen.
Touchdown! To the 30, down the sidelines, knocked out of bounds.
There's anarchy in the UK today. Now let's go live to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London to our royal family, along with former Vikings Pete Bursich and Ben Lieber, here with the call of today's game, the voice of the Vikings, Paul Allen.
Welcome to a sold-out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's Minnesota Vikings football into the bye week. The Minnesota Vikings head into this 2-2. The home team, the Cleveland Browns, are 1-3. The Cleveland Browns are wearing I would say the uniforms are football immortality. Wouldn't you agree, Pete?
Absolutely. They're home uniforms that we grew up as kids watching.
Thank you. With the it's brown uniforms, white numbers, white pants trimmed in brown and orange, and the orange logoless helmets. Now, for the first time in an international game, the Vikings have gone with their all-white uniforms. Maybe we'll call this a Wembley whiteout. The white jerseys, white pants. The pants are adorned with purple and gold stripes. The numbers are purple, and of course the purple helmets for a Minnesota Vikings team that won the coin toss and elected to kick it to Dillon Gabriel and the Cleveland Browns. Dillon Gabriel, a third-round rookie from Oregon, he's going to make his National Football League starting debut today. He's had some mop-up work and a couple of blowout losses at Detroit and at Baltimore. 3 of 4, 19 yards, a touchdown, and no picks. His only touchdown went to a fellow Dylan, a D-Y-L-A-N for the running back, Dylan Sampson, fellow Dylan and fellow rookie. So Gabriel has thrown a touchdown pass. He has yet to be sacked. He hasn't thrown an interception, and he also hasn't run the ball during his truncated NFL career, which collegiately took him from Central Florida to Oklahoma to Oregon, and he threw for 155 touchdown passes. We're about ready, and boom! Flags.
Already.
Flags all over the place, clipping on the boom.
Short free kick. Kicking team. Ball be placed at the 40-yard line.
Wow.
Minnesota hash, first down.
Well, that's the voice of Scott Novak. He and his staff called the 14th most penalties of the 16 officiating crews in the NFL. They do lead the NFL with defensive holding calls, averaging about 2 a game. So unofficially, boom, and good morning from North London. It is time for some bangers and mash the Browns on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings audio network. Dillon Gabriel is a 5'11 southpaw. 155 passing touchdowns in college. That's the most in the history of FBS football. The running back next to him, fellow rookie Quinshon Judkins. Out of the shotgun, the lefty takes the snap, gives it to Judkins, heads to the left side, cuts back up between the hash marks from the 40, and after a gain of 4 yards, he runs into the awaiting arms of the Vikings' leading tackler, Ivan Pace Jr., who is head manning a defense on that play that has allowed just 7 plays this year of 20 plays or more. That's tied for best in the NFL with Green Bay. The Vikings also have at least 2 sacks in 8 consecutive games. That's the longest streak going in the NFL. Second down. Dillon Gabriel wears number 8. Out of the shotgun, back to the rookie. Judkins tries the middle, bumps it out to the left. Flag comes in late. David Njoku was the one leading the way, unofficially on a 3-yard run.
Holding. Offense number 72. That's a 10-yard penalty. Second down.
KT Leviston, their left tackle. Jack Conklin is their right tackle. He's been out quite some time. 10th year from Michigan State, Peter.
Yeah, and he's a big return for them. You take a look at Dillon Gabriel, Paul. He's the 41st quarterback to start for the Cleveland Browns since they came back in the NFL in '99. That's number 1 in the NFL by 11. He's the 13th rookie quarterback to start for Cleveland. And by the way, we thought we've had a lot. Well, we're behind them by over 11. So it's all the quarterbacks the Vikings have had since '99 plus 11. It's crazy.
The Cleveland Browns have had the lead for 2 offensive snaps the entire season on 2nd and 15. Gabriel back to pass. He'll twirl and spin and throw over the middle, and it's caught by that behemoth tight end, David Njoku, and he gets across the 45 to the 47 for a catch of 13. That's going to make it 3rd and very short for a Browns offense, averaging 14 points a game.
And that's exactly the kind of play that out of Dillon Gabriel that we expected. It's a little, and credit to Stefanski for dreaming this up. It's a fake screen one way, fake screen the other way, and then just have David Njoku leak out toward the middle. So it's a fake screen on both outside, and then just throw it up the middle.
Their best wide receiver is Jerry Jeudy. He's wide right on 3rd and 4. Judkins is the tailback. Gabriel under center, play action, straight drop. Dylan Gabriel throws to the right side, incomplete. He overshot fellow rookie Isaiah Bond. And despite a kickoff that did not hit in the landing zone inside the 20, and the Vikings permitting the Browns to begin at the 40, they're going to stop them. And here comes Corey Bjorquez to punt.
That sneaky bit on this whole thing is any yardage Miles Price can get us is huge, because this defense for the Cleveland Browns only gives up 222 yards a game.
Rex Sunahara is their long snapper, sends it away to the left-footed Bajorquez, end-over-end punt, and Miles Price calls for a fair catch at the 7-yard line. Now, that probably was the right move with a couple of Browns behind him. So the Minnesota Vikings, after the 47-yard punt, will come out on offense with a makeshift Minnesota moving company, left to right. Christian Darrisaw, left tackle. Joe Huber making his first National Football League start, undrafted from Wisconsin. He's the left guard. Blake Brandell is the center. He's never played center in a National Football League game. Will Fries will make his 5th consecutive start at right guard. And the right tackle replacing Brian O'Neill is Justin School. The quarterback, Carson Wentz. 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, wearing the purple 11 and putting TJ Hawkinson in motion. Vikings offense for the first time today, 1st and 10. And Wentz is under center, hands it to Jordan Mason, room to the right side. Nice block, Jalen Naylor. As Mason crosses the 15, it'll be a 9-yard run to about the 17. Jordan Mason playing in his 50th game with a nice run.
And this is the number 1 run defense in the NFL too, Paul. And they line up with a 4-man front, so these cutbacks and some of these outside plays have an opportunity to be there. So for Josh Oliver and TJ Hawkinson, they become extremely valuable in a game like this.
2nd and 1, scoreless. Wentz shotgun, Mason by his side. 2 tight ends to the right. They run up the middle. It's effortless. It's Mason across the 20, hit at the 23, and he'll be stopped at about the 22, maybe 23 for a gain of 5. And that's a first down for the Vikings. And to amplify what Pete said, the Browns give up just 70 rushing yards per game, tops in the NFL through 4. They only allow 2.7 yards per run, which is by far first in the NFL.
Yeah, no question. And you know, another way to slow down a pass rush is to run the football.
Adam Thielen in motion to the right, 3 receivers right on first down. Wentz with a screen to Hawkinson between the numbers and the hash marks. He turns it up near side to the 25-30, and T.J. Hawkinson will be taken down by Ronnie Hickman, a 3rd-year safety from Ohio State. It'll be a gain of 9 yards, 2nd and 1 for Minnesota.
Yeah, brilliantly dreamed up. You say, like, what are we going to do offensively? Well, in that case, you take T.J. Hawkinson, who's been chipping defensive ends consistently for the last couple of weeks. Well, you let him chip, and then he just turns around, and the offensive line builds a wall, and he's able to just ride that wave.
Mason, the single set. Justin Jefferson motions to the backfield. He's the tailback, offset eye right, and Wentz. He'll throw it to Justin, caught far side at the 30. Nice move at the 35. Turns up to the 40 in front of the Browns bench. Justin Jefferson finally is corralled at the 42. That's an 11-yard hit. And the Minnesota Vikings offense has come out going great guns.
Yeah, Cleveland substituting out into nickel. So maybe it might be easier to run the football with this group in, but that's why Justin Jefferson was in the backfield, because when you're in base, the guy covering the flat's a linebacker, and Justin Jefferson can outrun any linebacker in the league.
Xavier Scott, 2nd-year Maine, spells Jordan Mason. 3 receiver set, 2 right, 1 left, and Scott in the backfield. Wentz back to pass, fade. Jefferson single coverage, incomplete, no flags. Justin with outstretched arms, wondering why there were no flags against Greg Newsome, but nevertheless, they found single coverage with Justin Jefferson. It's 2nd and 10.
And by single coverage, and the safety being in the middle of the field, so that was a one-on-one matchup that you're going to try to wear out. Now for Justin Jefferson, I guess the other part of that, Paul, is Carson Wentz put that ball in a perfect spot. Had JJ been able to turn around, I think a little bit sooner, he would have been able to get his hands up.
On second down, Wentz goes under center. Once again, the center is Blake Brandel. Jalen Naylor in motion to the right. Straight eye. Hand off to Mason. Back in the game. And he's encountered by Newsome. He dropped it. Jordan Mason dropped the football. Greg Newsome may have caused a fumble. There is a fumble. It's at about the 47-yard line, awaiting Scott Novak and or a member of his crew to tell us which way we're going to be going here. It's Jordan Mason's second fumble this season. It's Browns ball. And the offense starting from the 7 was just making some memories with this drive. All right, let's pause. Browns ball in Vikings territory after the fumble. 10-12 to go in the first quarter on the Northland Ford Dealer scoreboard from North London and Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We have no score. This is Minnesota Vikings football.
When a loved one's memory starts to fade, it's more than forgetting names or dates. It's watching pieces of their life quietly slip away. At the Wellshire Memory Care, it isn't just treatment, it's understanding. The team at Wellshire provides specialized support, dignity, and a safe environment where every moment matters. If your family is facing the challenges of Alzheimer's or dementia, the Wellshire is here to walk that journey with you, with compassion and with care. Visit the Wellshire today at wellshiremn.com, wellshiremn.com.
Hey, friends with food allergies. Life is about to get way easier. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Look, let's not argue. You've got enough stress. Just remember this name. Liam's. Liam's. Lee to the ums. As in Liam's frozen entrees that are free of the top 9 allergens. What? Gluten-free, too. Delicious, nutritious, ready in minutes, safe meals for you, your kids, and even those adorable people who can eat whatever they want. Liam's rocks. To find which grocer's freezers are cool enough to stock Liam's, head to saferplate.com.
She's Jam, the ultimate Vikings fan.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Vikings Jam Show fan show. My special guest today is Jared Allen. So, Jared, who you got for the Vikings game this week?
Minnesota Vikings.
Me too. So, that's our show. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the Minnesota Lottery, who reminds you this could be your year. Play the new
Vikings
Scratch Game for a shot at $100,000, game tickets, and more. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Discover the ultimate destination to live, work, and play at Viking Lakes. From top-tier office spaces in the Minnesota Vikings World Headquarters to exciting live entertainment and luxury apartment living, Viking Lakes has it all. Discover Viking Lakes residences with spacious apartments, best-in-class finishes, and unparalleled amenities. Our community sets the standard for suburban luxury. Are you planning a company holiday party or a fall picnic? Our venue is perfect for any event. For additional information, please visit explorevikinglakes.com. Experience suburban luxury like never before.
Hey, it's Meat Sauce here. Sunday early morning football is the absolute best. I think Hawk lives in London now. Good for him. Power Trip Morning Show returns tomorrow, 5:30 to 9, right here on The Fan.
Well, after a brutal Jordan Mason fumble, the Browns take over on offense, and that leads us into the U.S. Bank player to watch for this game, and I'm going to focus on Eric Wilson in this game. Listen, we understand that there might be a lot of short, quick passing game, which should bode really well for his area of coverage. Also, watch out for the quarterback run game. He should be a big factor as well.
All right, Ben, thank you. Courtesy of U.S. Bank. Handoff. Judkins heads to the right side to the 40, 30, near the boundary, to the 20-yard line. Quinshawn Judkins, the Ohio State rookie, is pushed out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So for Judkins, that's going to be a run that puts them inside the red zone. And it's a 32-yard run down to the 15, 32-yard run.
Yeah, just great blocking on the outside as Byron Murphy Jr. tries to be late run support and gets blocked past the play. So just a beautiful job of the wide receiving core blocking for the Cleveland Browns.
Scoreless, Dylan Gabriel, the rookie. Back to Judkins. Jump cut to the right. Lowers the helmet at the 5. Metellus got the worst of that. Make it at the 10. And Judkins falls ahead to the 7-yard line. So that's going to be a run of 8 yards for Quinshawn Judkins. Second-round rookie from Ohio State. He scored a couple of touchdowns this year, both on the ground. That 32-yard run, his second longest of the season. The previous was 38. And now it's 2nd and 2 from the 7 as the Browns break the huddle. KT Leviston, Joe Bitonio, Ethan Posick, Wyatt Teller, and Jack Conklin make up the offensive line for the Browns. Bond in motion to the left. Gabriel from under center, back to pass, protected nicely, throws to the end zone, knocked away. Byron Murphy Jr., the veteran, covering the rookie Isaiah Bond. 3rd and 2.
Byron Murphy, I hate to say it, just made up for it because we had extra big guys up front, and that's one-on-one covering a receiver in the back of the end zone with no safety help. That was as one-on-one as it possibly gets, and Byron Murphy did a fantastic job.
Quinshawn Judkins, 4 runs, 46 yards. He's part of an offset eye right on 3rd down behind Dylan Gabriel. And the carry goes to Judkins following a pulling guard, Batonio. And Batonio just basically got in the way as Judkins went outside the numbers. He's hit and stopped near the point of attack. He may have gained a yard. In fact, he did. It's 4th down, and Kevin Stefanski, former offensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, he's going to keep the offense on the field and bring in an extra offensive lineman, the former Jaguar and Bear Tevin Jenkins. So they'll have 6 offensive linemen, and for the Cleveland Browns, they're 5 of 9 this year on 4th down. Full house backfield, 3 in the backfield, handoff Judkins. He plows his way to the 5, grinds to the 4, 1st down, Cleveland, 1st and goal.
Wow, to go back and play, it was a sneaky great one by Eric Wilson and just keeping contained and letting Jonathan Grenard get his way out. But what Judkins is doing, Paul, is taking it downhill and then kind of cutting it to the outside, just letting that gap again between the defensive tackle and the outside linebacker be the soft spot of the Vikings defense. And call it a soft spot, it was only a yard.
And it's 1st and goal for Cleveland. Midway through the 1st quarter, we have no score from Tottenham Hotspur. Dylan Gabriel is out of the shotgun. And the new tailback is Jerome Ford, the veteran, gets the call on a gun run up the middle following the blocking of a pulling left tackle, Leviston. And he'll be stopped at the 2-yard line. That'll be a gain. Maybe he might have got down to the 1, so that's a gain of 3, 2nd and goal. Scoreless, 7:14 and counting to go in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, a very long one. Now, the one thing with Dylan Gabriel is that he can move. So don't be surprised if Cleveland tries to get him on the outside of this defense and let him try to be an athlete.
7th play of a possession that's gone 46 yards off a Jordan Mason fumble. Gabriel from under center rolls out to the left, throws to the left, and it's caught. Touchdown Cleveland Browns. That's rookie to rookie. Dylan Gabriel to Harold Fannin Jr., 3rd-round rookie from Bowling Green, just scored his first National Football League touchdown. And the Cleveland Browns take the miscue by Jordan Mason, and they turned it into 6.
Yeah, that's something that, again, against an offense that's struggling, you can't do. It was a sneaky good play. Harold Fannin comes in, motioning in from the outside, and he, with the play fake, fakes a block on Eric Wilson and then just turns around and dashes to the corner. So Eric Wilson was playing the run and played the play fake and wasn't there in time.
Andre Schmidt, first year from Syracuse, kicks for the Browns. Extra point is up, and the extra point is good. Jordan Mason fumbled on the Vikings' first offensive possession right around midfield. The Browns then went 7 plays, 47 yards, took 3.5 minutes, and Dylan Gabriel threw a touchdown to fellow rookie Harold Fannin Jr. And on the Northland Ford Dealer scoreboard, Cleveland leads 7-0 on the KFA and Minnesota Vikings audio network, driven by Polaris.
Vikings fans, game day starts early at Mystic Lake. Watch the Vikings take on Cleveland from across the pond in England at 8:30 a.m. Sunday, October 5th. Enjoy food and drink specials, photo ops, a Fanatics Vikings merch booth, giveaways, and appearances by Vikings cheerleaders and the Skull Line. Get details at mysticlake.com. That's mysticlake.com. And check out the Vikings taking on Cleveland from across the pond in England at 8:30 a.m. Sunday, October 5th. Don't miss a minute of the action at Mystic Lake.
Quick Trip and your Minnesota Vikings are teaming up to put you in the ride of your dreams. Picture this. You behind the wheel of a brand new 2025 Ford Bronco Big Bend. Nice picture. Make it happen. Stop by your local Quick Trip, and for every dollar you spend using Quick Rewards, you'll earn a point to spend in the Vikings Fan Zone. Buy special qualifying products and earn bonus Fan Zone points. Kick off your winning season the right way with Quick Trip and your Minnesota Vikings. Details at quicktrip.com/fanzone.
For Minnesotans, the outdoors is home. Nobody gives you more ways to get there than Polaris. From Indian motorcycles and Ranger side-by-sides to Indy snowmobiles and Bennington pontoons, we bring Minnesota's best to every season. Our wooded trails, twisted highways, and the rugged shores of all 10,000 lakes are an invitation. A chance to let what's outside challenge what's inside you. Polaris. Think outside. a proud partner of your Minnesota Vikings.
When it comes to managing your blood pressure, you play to win. You've made changes to your diet. You stay active. You've followed your doctor's game plan to the letter. But when it comes to your health, you can't always tackle it alone. Go beyond typical treatments with the Simplicity blood pressure procedure. Brought to you by Medtronic, official sponsor of the Vikings. Talk to your doctor. Results may vary. Adverse events include but are not limited to temporary pain and bruising. Read important risk factor information at beyondhbp.com.
How now, brown cow? We'll talk about nursery rhymes like that, and we'll break down Browns Vikings tomorrow, 12 noon, right here on the Common Man program on The Fan.
7-0 Cleveland, first quarter, North London. Vikings fans pick up a pothole pizza or 20-ounce Pepsi or Mountain Dew with quick rewards for your chance to be a weekly winner of a $500 gift card. And if the Vikings score a touchdown of more than 50 yards that week, one lucky fan wins $5,000. QuickTrip.com/sweepstakes for details. Boom! There's the kick. After the touchdown, here comes Miles Price from about the 3 far side to the 5 to the 10 to the 15 to the 20. And he's hit at the 25, stopped at the 27, and a flag comes in late. Potentially against the...
Yep. It's against us.
Okay, well, that will... So that penalty indeed is against the Vikings, which now means they have 2 this game, 39 on the season. Until Jacksonville next plays, the Vikings are the most penalized team in the National Football League.
Well, and Paul, we talked about it going into this game against a defense that doesn't give up a lot of yards. Field position is unbelievably important.
Yep.
So now this drive starts at the 18-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
We've started 2 drives so far this game, one inside the 10 and this one inside the 20.
Carson Wentz, 2 of 3, 20 yards is under center. The tailback, Xavier Scott, and Xavier gets the call and with a burst up the middle across the 25 to the 27-yard line. No, they say he stopped at the 25, run of 7. And we run down to Ben Lieber, this makeshift moving company. What's going on with it, Ben?
Well, they're going no huddle right now, but a little interesting play in formation. We saw this last week against the Steelers. Darisaw in the last series lined up as the right tight end on the right side of the offensive formation. And a lot of times when they do that, we call that a tackle over situation. It forces the defensive front to shift.
Offense number 60, that's a 5-yard
As we got into the offensive penalty on us, another pre-snap penalty, it forces the defensive line to shift more to the left. It just adds another layer to the creativity of this offensive line. And then when you do that, you put the 2 tight ends over on the left side to kind of play that void there in that area. So some creativity. Give these guys a little something to think about on the defensive front.
Well, nice pickup because that time Joe Huber, the left guard making his first NFL start, he was flagged for a false start. And now the handoff goes to Xavier Scott, turns it up the right side across the 20 on 2nd and 8, and he'll gain 1. So now it's 3rd and 7. But, Kevin, there are 3 penalties already against the Vikings. They have 40 on the season. They're the most penalized team in the NFL. And I don't care if the bye's coming up. I don't care if you're playing a 1-win team. This is starting to get beyond ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And especially today with just the kickoff being not in the landing zone and then you get a false start.
Right.
It's like those are the ones that are easily preventable.
The Vikings with their first 3rd down try today, 5:15 and counting to go in the first quarter. Wentz out of the shotgun, back to pass, throws left and is caught. Justin Jefferson first down. Near the sideline at the 34 to the 35, out of bounds at the 36. It's a 15-yard first down hit. Wentz to Justin Jefferson.
All we had to do is protect Wentz for that length of time. And because Justin Jefferson, they're playing one-on-one, man-to-man coverage. For Wentz, that ball was in the air before Justin Jefferson even made his break. And it's just amazing timing, great accuracy. If we can keep Wentz upright for that short a period, I think we'll be moving the football well.
Interesting to note, ever since the fumble, Jordan Mason has not been back in the game. First down, Jalen Naylor in motion to the right. Wentz play action. Nice pocket, throws to the right side, incomplete. He was looking for Jalen Naylor, and it was an incomplete pass. So we have a couple of things. Ben, keep your eye on this, and perhaps I've missed something, but well, Jordan Mason, since he fumbled, has not returned to the game. We all can see that. I don't believe Jordan Addison has played. and we have 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. I don't believe Jordan Addison has been on the field yet. It'll be second down, 2nd and 10. Xavier Scott caught a touchdown at Dublin last week to the left of Carson Wentz. The Vikings scrimmage from their own 36, trailing 7-0. Naylor in motion to the left. Wentz with a quickie caught between the numbers and the hash mark. Jefferson at the 46, thrust down at the 48 for a gain of 12. And another first down for the Minnesota Vikings. We saw it a lot of practice this week, Pete. A lot of these plays between the numbers and the hash marks, and they've already hit on 2.
If Cleveland wants to play a 3-deep zone against perhaps the best receiver in football, go ahead, because that's what we can do. That's where Wentz and his quick release and his experience pays off, because as soon as Jefferson got through that first window of the flat defender, that ball was right there.
1st and 10, Minnesota from its own 48. Hawkinson in motion to the right. Wentz throwing again. Throws left, incomplete. Jefferson, the intended target in front of his own bench. Singled up again against Greg Newsome, 5th year from Northwestern, first-round pick in 2021. He was very much in question to play with an injury all week at practice, and we have a flag on this play.
4 lined up offside. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
So that was Josh Oliver who lined up offside. So now the Vikings have 4 penalties against them, and we're not even through the first quarter.
Yeah, and again, they're all pre-snap. They're procedural penalties, Paul. This isn't holding. This isn't being overmatched or anything like that. It's just not being able to get lined up right. So, those are frustrating. And again, when you're playing a defense that is as good as this one, they're tough to overcome.
Hawkinson in motion to the right, back to the left on 1st and 15. Wentz back to pass, throws the way of T.J. Hawkinson, caught at the 45, and he's pushed out of bounds by the Browns' leading tackler, Devin Bush, at the 48. That's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd and 10. 3.5 minutes and counting to go in the first quarter. The Browns lead 7-0. On the Vikings' first offensive possession, they move from the 7 to around the 50. Jordan Mason, for a second consecutive week, fumbled. Only this week, they lost it. Then the Browns marched down the field and got a touchdown for a 7-0 lead. 2nd and 10 from the Vikings 48. Wentz is under center. Play action to Xavier Scott. He's going to throw left. Naylor wide open. Caught at the Browns 37 to the 35, and he's out of bounds at the 32-yard line. That's a 20-yard connection. Wentz to Jalen Naylor, and another first down.
One thing that's showing itself here, Paul, is that Carson Wentz is not just staying in the pocket. They're bootlegging him. They're rolling him out. They're getting the ball out quickly. They're not just letting him take that 5 to 7 step drop and survey the field. So that's not letting Cleveland dial in. And by the way, Cam Akers is in the game. Not Jordan Mason.
Right, Akers, it's a wildcat. They're going to snap it direct to Cam Akers. He's throwing to Josh Oliver inside the 10. Touchdown! 32-yard touchdown pass from Cam Akers to Josh Oliver, and the Minnesota Vikings are within 1. That is the Vikings' first touchdown pass from a running back since 2008, when Chester Taylor threw one to Visante Shenko at New Orleans, and the Minnesota Vikings are an extra point from tying the game.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful setup. He put Cam Akers out there. All the eyes are on the running back, and get him in the wildcat. No one saw that coming.
Extra point. Will Reichard's kick is good. 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. A Cam Akers touchdown pass to Josh Oliver has tied the game. Akers at Florida State University, passing 5 of 8 for 97 yards. Kevin O'Connell always has been infatuated with his arm, and now we know why. Back shortly, tied game first quarter. It's Vikings football.
Step inside the extraordinary. The Artisan Home Tour is your chance to explore Minnesota's most exquisite residences homes crafted with artistry, detail, and breathtaking design. From custom architecture to luxury finishes, these aren't just houses, they're masterpieces. Tour 21 Artisan homes this October. Open Fridays through Sundays, noon to 6. Experience the craftsmanship. Feel the inspiration. Find event details and plan your tour at artisanhometour.org. That's artisanhometour.org.
Minnesota deserves a go-to destination for all things high school sports in our state. All the scores, the stories, the stats, live streams, social feeds, photos, personalized team pages, breaking news. One place for everything you're looking for. That's why the Minnesota Star Tribune is launching Strip Varsity. You'll find Minnesota Star Tribune journalism, Minnesota Prep Hub stats and schedules, streams, stories, and more. Strip Varsity is Minnesota's new home for complete high school sports coverage. Sign up today at startribune.com/stripvarsity.
With its smart, sustainable water solutions, Pentair helps the world move, improve, and enjoy water, life's most essential resource. From great tasting water for homes and businesses, to energy-efficient pumping solutions and everywhere in between, Pentair is focused on driving innovation that helps people and the planet thrive. Visit Pentair.com to learn how. Pentair, the official sustainable water partner of the Minnesota Vikings.
Vikings fans, sometimes you need to play defense when you shop online. So many websites these days ask you to store your card numbers with them, and it's time to blow the whistle on that. Participating banks and credit unions are now offering Pays, an online checkout service with added security. With Pays, your card numbers stay hidden from merchants. Now that's protecting your pocket. Find out if your bank or credit union offers Pays today at Pays.com. That's PAZE.com.
Kirill and the Wild open the regular season Thursday night against the Blues. Puck drops in St. Louis at 7 on the audio home of the Minnesota Wild, KFAN.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Vikings football.
This is Vikings Browns live from London on the audio home for Vikings football. FM 100.3 KFXN, Minneapolis, St. Paul, The Fan.
7-7 first quarter from Tottenham Hotspur. The Minnesota Vikings just went 8 plays, 82 yards, took 419. Cam Akers with a touchdown pass to Josh Oliver. On that possession, the Vikings passed 4 times and completed them for 12 yards or more. Boom, there's the kick. And Jerome Ford heads up the right side to the 20, 25, 30 and is taken down around the 35-yard line. 2:25 to go in the first quarter. Fuel up for Vikings football in London today with a McDonald's $3 breakfast sandwich before the battle begins. Redeem this epic deal only in the McDonald's app. Excludes tax. Must opt into rewards. Football fans meet Pays, a convenient new online checkout offered by bank and credit unions. Learn more at Pays.com. Dillon Gabriel goes under center, and he's going to hand the ball to Judkins, the Ohio State rookie, the right side. And on 1st and 10, it'll be no gain. He'll get trapped at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10.
Great job by Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins and Levi Drake Rodriguez to just hold the point and allow a looping Jonathan Grenard to chase that play down from behind.
Gabriel this time works out of the shotgun from his own 34. Dylan Sampson is into the game to replace Judkins, and Gabriel throws that way far side. Josh Metellus snipped it out and was able to stop him before the first down at about the 39-yard line, so that'll be a gain of 5. 3rd and 5, Dylan Sampson, a 4th-round rookie from Tennessee. He caught a touchdown pass from fellow rookie Dylan Gabriel earlier this season. And now in this battle of the Kevins, Stefanski needs to dial up a play against O'Connell's bunch on 3rd and 5 from his own 39-yard line. Cleveland 0 of 2 on 3rd down. Gabriel out of the shotgun. Dylan Sampson by his side. 2 receivers left and right. Minnesota rushes 5. Gabriel throws left. It's caught by Fannin Jr. Shy of the first down, but then he reaches out past Jeff Okudah, and he gets the first down to about the 45. First down, Cleveland.
And that's okay, Paul. Defensively, we're challenging them for every single yard that they get, and that looks good. That's probably the first play that Harrison Smith was also in the game, Paul. So, we're watching substitutions very, very closely.
Dallas Turner and Jonathan Grenard edge left and right. Grenard to the right. First down, Cleveland, deep in the first quarter. Straight eye behind Dylan Gabriel. It's Harold Fannin Jr., who has a touchdown reception today in front of Judkins, who gets the call. Speeds around the left side. We're in trouble. Flag on the play. He's inside the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Cleveland Browns. Unofficially, a touchdown for the Cleveland Browns of 56 rushing yards. Pending penalty pending infraction, and it came out relatively early in the play.
Yeah, I think Jonathan Bernard got held, Paul, and I believe that was a tackle-over situation as well, where they were lining up, because you could see Ivan Pace.
There are 2 fouls, both against the offense. Holding, offense number 16, that penalty's declined. Holding, offense number 44, that's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's Harold Fannin that held.
And Isaiah Bond, 16.
Yeah. So I think they did the old tackle over to try to get more bodies over there. And I saw Ivan Pace trying to get everyone to move, right? You have to shift the defensive line because they're just moving gaps. That's all they're doing when they do it that way. It's a funky look. And we just got lined up a little bit too late. And I don't know if we were lined up properly. But, man, I'll tell you what, this Quinshon Judkins, Paul, if you take a bad angle on him, the kid's gone. He's very impressive.
And he runs over you, too. He's fantastic. All right, so Cleveland's second penalty nullified a 56-yard rushing touchdown. Dylan Gabriel on 1st and 20 from his own 34, goes back to pass, straight drop, throws to the right side with his left hand, and Jalen Redmond with a pass defense. Jalen Redmond had a couple of sacks and double in this day last week. He deflected it with 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Game tied at 7, and it's 2nd and 20 for the Cleveland Browns.
Jalen Redmond with 3 sacks, I believe, leads the entire defense. It's amazing how a guy like him has a knack for making plays, Paul. Tip passes, sacks. He's been doing an outstanding job.
Gabriel goes out of the shotgun on 2nd and 20 from his own 34. Puts rookie Isaiah Bond in motion to the right. He's behind Jerry Jeudy. Gabriel back to pass, yet to be sacked. He's going to throw short, left flat. Caught Harold Fannin Jr. at the line of scrimmage, and he'll weave his way for a gain of maybe 4 or 5 yards, and that's the last play of the first quarter, where each team has a passing touchdown. It's 7-7. Dylan Gabriel threw a touchdown to Harold Fannin Jr. And for the Vikings, Cam Akers threw a touchdown to Josh Oliver. We're tied at 7 from Tottenham Hotspur on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our built wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait, get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Based on calendar year total sales.
Every team needs a top pick, and every home does too. That's why pros and homeowners choose Andersen, the #1 trusted window and door brand. Built to last through every season, Andersen makes it easy with windows and doors that perform as great as they look. So whether it's scoring style points or tackling tough weather, you can trust your home to Andersen, the official window and door partner of the Minnesota Vikings. 2024 Andersen brand surveys of U.S. contractors, builders, architects, and homeowners. For warranty info, visit AndersenWindows.com.
Vikings fans, looking to upgrade your wardrobe? This local brand based in St. Paul will become your new go-to. Unreal is the premium athleisure brand that combines comfort, versatility, and style. Crafting elevated apparel that will take you from the office to the gym or the airport to the golf course. Wherever you go, they've got you covered. Shop now at Unreal.com and experience the difference yourself. That's UNRL.com, the best athleisure wear in the game.
Huddle up, Vikings Nation. Don't let that Skol chant fade. Let it echo through the hallways, the bars, the stadium, and the city. Because when the Vikings score 2 or more touchdowns, you'll get a free Big Mac with a purchase of $2 or more. Only in the McDonald's app. Offer valid once per person the day after the Vikings score 2+ touchdowns through 2/28/26 at participating McDonald's. Excludes tax. Must opt into rewards.
Every Tuesday at 11, Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell joins Paul Allen live from the TCO studio, right here on the audio home for Vikings football. KFAN, The Fan.
Scoreboard Central.
Brought to you by U.S. Bank, the official bank of the Minnesota Vikings. Bye week next week, and then we host the Eagles at U.S. Bank Stadium. The Eagles are 4-0. They'll be taking on the 2-2 Broncos today at noon. Their wins have not been pretty, but nonetheless, the Eagles are 4-0. Now back to PA.
All right, Muss, appreciate you. Play like a Viking at Mystic Lake, your game day headquarters. Win prizes all season. Learn more at mysticlake.com. Into the second quarter, 3rd and 15.
There we
Rookie
go.
Dylan Gabriel and the Browns.
False start.
3rd and 20.
Offense number 68, 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Now, for the opposing teams against this Vikings defense, this is the first play for the Browns that's been 3rd and 6 or longer. And this year, the Vikings have allowed first downs on 3rd and 6 or longer just 22 times. The opposing offenses are 2 of 26, by far tops in the NFL.
And Cam Robinson's playing left tackle, so KT Leviston's not in the game right now.
Flag on the play as Gabriel goes back, throws over the middle to David Njoku on 3rd and 20, turns it up to the 40-45. That's where he stopped after an 11-yard gain. Scott Novak.
Legal formation on the offense.
68?
68 was in the backfield.
Wow, Cam Robinson.
4th down.
All right, Cam Robinson, the former Viking, he played last year. The Browns stuck at offensive line, kind of like the Vikings with some injuries. They traded with Houston this week for Cam Robinson. Robinson comes into the game, plays 2 plays, gets 2 penalties. Holy cow.
All right, welcome to the fire. But the big question is you get Jack Conklin back at right tackle. KT Leviston's really filling in at left tackle, and now he's out. So they've got problems and injuries on this offensive line as well.
Corey Bojorquez punting to Miles Price. 7-7 early in the second quarter. No significant rush. Left-footed punt. Not great. Heads to the left of Miles Price. Out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. And that's where the Vikings will begin. 14:28 to go in the first half. Game tied at 7 on the Northland Ford dealer scoreboard and the KFAM Minnesota Vikings audio network, driven by Polaris.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious with multiple engine options and impressive towing. While Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability, making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. Visit ChevyDealOnline.com.
You're listening to Vikings football.
She's Jam, the ultimate Vikings fan.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Vikings Jam Show fan show. My special guest today is Jared Allen. So, Jared, who you got for the Vikings game this week?
Minnesota Vikings.
Me too. So, that's our show. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the Minnesota Lottery, who reminds you this could be your year. Play the new
Vikings
Scratch Game for a shot at $100,000, game tickets, and more. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Hey Vikings fans, I'm Taylor of the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders, and here's our best kept secret, Pure Lux Med Spa. Laser hair removal at Pure Lux is a game changer. Voted best med spa and laser hair removal by the Star Tribune, they keep us game day ready with Botox, filler, and our favorite, the Diamond Glow Facial. Visit mypurelux.com/skull to book your appointment today. Pure Lux Med Spa, the preferred med spa of the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders.
Hey, friends with food allergies. Life is about to get way easier. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Look, let's not argue. You've got enough stress. Just remember this name. Liam's. Liam's. Lee to the ums. As in Liam's frozen entrees that are free of the top 9 allergens. What? Gluten-free too. Delicious, nutritious, ready in minutes, safe meals for you, your kids, and even those adorable people who can eat whatever they want. Liam's rocks. To find which grocer's freezers are cool enough to stock Liam's, head to saferplate.com.
Back to Vikings football on Minnesota's station for sports, FM 100.3 KFAN, The Fan.
Welcome back to the game. It's 7-7 as the Vikings take over with the ball. And guys, Jordan Addison is making his debut here in London. The official on him was not an injury. It was a, quote, coach's decision. So it looked like a first quarter timeout for him. And we'll leave it all up to everybody else to figure out what the issue was. But he is back in this game.
And Addison coming off a big game last week against Pittsburgh, where he and Justin Jefferson both had more than 100 yards. First down for the Vikings, 1st and 10. And it's Jalen Naylor on a jet sweep near side across the 20 to the 25, gets to the 30, and he's pushed out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. 15-yard run for Jalen Naylor. Taylor. That'll be the longest of his career, and it's a first down for the Vikings.
Now going to the hurry-up offense, you have the backup, Shelby Harris, Alex Wright in a defensive line for Cleveland, so you want to keep these guys in the game and maybe run the football a little bit.
Miles Garrett, right defensive end, opposite Christian Darrisaw, first down, handoff Jordan Mason. His first carry since the first quarter when he fumbled. He plows his way to the 36, and that'll be a run of about a yard, so it's 2nd and 9. Now, we remember last year at the joint practices against the Cleveland Browns in Berea, Ohio, Darrisaw and Miles Garrett had some epic battles over those 2 days.
Yes, they did, and so you got to keep an eye on where they put Miles Garrett. I mean, most of the time he's the right defensive end, and he's been there a lot today. So they're keeping him paired up with Christian Darrisaw.
That's where he is as Hawkinson goes in motion to the right. Wentz back to pass. It's a screen right side. Caught Jordan Mason. Wraps his arms around the ball at the line of scrimmage. Turns it up to the 37-yard line. And after all that, it's going to be no gain, making it 3rd and 8 for the Minnesota Vikings in a game tied at 7. 13 minutes to go in the first half, and the Vikings get the ball to begin the second half.
Well, what we've seen is the adjustments that Kevin O'Connell has made to this offense. Carson Wentz is getting rid of the football quickly. They have him on the move. He's not just stationary in the pocket. So this Cleveland defensive line has not been able to just tee off and just get to the pocket.
Minnesota 1 of 1 on 3rd down. Carson Wentz with C.J. Ham to his right. 9th year from Augustana. Takes the snap on 3rd down. Back to pass. He looks to the left, sees nothing. Swings it all the way back to the right. Incomplete, but there's a flag. T.J. Hawkinson, the intended receiver, covered by Grant Delpit.
While the quarterback was in the pocket, legal contact on the defense on 26. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic. First down.
Miles Harden, 2nd year from South Dakota.
This is a physical defensive group, Paul, and you mentioned pregame how these referees call defensive holding and they keep an eye on it. Well, they're going to get some of that today. They're very, very aggressive. Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, and their safeties, Hickman and Delpit and Harden, who comes in at nickel. Those guys are all very physical.
Miles Garrett, right defensive end, first overall pick in the 2017 draft. He's a 6-time All-Pro, 4 times first team. On first down, it's a flip right to Xavier Scott, and he'll take it outside the numbers to the 40. Gets to the 30, make that the 45, and into Browns territory to about the 48-yard line. So that'll be a run of 9 by Xavier Scott, 2nd and short.
Paul, that's a kind of a trick play because they pull Will Fries. They pull the guard to the right and then run to the left. And 99.99% of the time, if a guard pulls, that's where the football is going. And they went totally against that. So a lot of creativity in this game plan thus far. Running backs throwing the football. You got ghost guards pulling. Just really well done.
Mason Graham in the game, rookie from Michigan, 5th overall pick. Wentz on first down from under center, play action. Steps up in the pocket, sidearms one to the right, incomplete. And he had Jefferson open. Justin beat Denzel Ward on a crosser, but they couldn't close on it. So now that that was 2nd down. So now it'll be 3rd and 1 from the Cleveland 48, 11:42 to go in the first half. Game tied at 7.
Yeah, we were trying to take a shot deep. They wanted to play fake and then get it out to Jordan Addison, but Grant Delpit was all over him. And so Carson Wentz had to do some scrambling, try to find his outlet, and almost got it to Justin Jefferson, Paul. But that was going to be a 20-30 yard. That was going to be that was a big pass attempt right there.
Wentz 7 of 10, 73 yards under center. It's a flip right on 3rd and 1, and the Browns snip this thing out from a mile away to Jordan Mason. He's trapped behind the line of scrimmage. Jordan Mason captured for a tackle for loss, and it was Ronnie Hickman got him behind the line of scrimmage for a 2-yard loss. So now it's 4th down, and Ryan Wright maybe having the best season of his brief career. 4 inside the 20, no touchbacks. Let's be mindful. Ryan Wright threw a pass at Tottenham Hotspur in 2022, completed it for 13 yards to Jalen Naylor. That's his only completion, this time a standard operation punt, end over end. Fair caught of the Cleveland Browns at the 11-yard line. That's another inside the 20 for Ryan Wright. We pause on the Northland Ford dealer scoreboard. Browns ball, game tied at 7. From Tottenham Hotspur, it's Minnesota Vikings football.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Right now, for a limited time, get 1.99% APR on the Hyundai Tucson or the Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end November 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Vikings fans, meet the MVP of flavor, the Humble Goat. Our cranberry cinnamon goat cheese earned second place in the World Champion Cheese Contest, and our plain goat cheese just scored second at the American Cheese Society Awards. Smooth, creamy, healthy, and perfect for game day and every day. Find the Humble Goat cheese at your local store, and don't forget, Humble Goat protein powder is fueling fans everywhere. Available now on Amazon. World class and Minnesota proud.
Vikings fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your home for exclusive coverage of your favorite local teams. And there are more ways to watch this season. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream your hometown teams. Or watch through a TV provider. Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com for details.
Vikings faithful, listen up. Your game day checklist is more than wearing purple and gold. It's about victory from the first play to the final whistle. During tense, close calls, Dove shampoo, body wash, and deodorant keep you fresh and dry from head to toe. And what's a true Vikings tailgate without the secret weapon to sliders and sides, Hellman's Real Mayo. Then when post-game dishes pile up like a defensive line, 7th generation detergent is the powerhouse that blitzes through the grease and grime. Stock up on Dove, Hellman's, and 7th generation. And Skol Vikings.
This is Vikings Browns live from London on the audio home for Vikings football. KFAN, The Fan.
Game tied at 7 early in the second quarter. Welcome back to North London. There's a way to stream your Vikings coverage, shows, and insight right on your big screen TV. It is Fox Local, a free streaming app. You can learn more by going to fox.com, Fox Local, the streaming device. Install and stay connected with your Vikings. Also, Unreal is back with its limited edition Vikings drop. Head to UNRL.com for more details. Ben Lieber on the sideline, Pete Bursich, yours truly, Paul Allen. High atop Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the corner where the Cleveland Browns offense is right in front of us, led by rookie Dylan Gabriel. He goes out of the shotgun. He looks to his left, throws to his left, and it's caught by Harold Fannin Jr., taken down by Dallas Turner at the 15-yard line. That'll be a quick-hitting gain of 4 yards, making it 2nd and 6.
That's where the athleticism right there of Dallas Turner shows. I mean, his ability to get out to the flat and cover some ground is really, really good. And nice job by Eric Wilson and Ivan Pace underneath, taking away those quick slants. Again, nothing but quick throws out of this Cleveland offense thus far.
The Browns are averaging 4.5 yards per play. The Vikings 7.5 yards per play. Game tied at 7. Pistol formation. It is Judkins behind Gabriel. They're going to try to run the rookie to the right side. Quarterback, that is. Dallas Turner gets him at the 10-yard line. A tackle for loss of 4 yards by Dallas Turner. And now Cleveland's looking at a 3rd and 11. 3rd and 11 against a Brian Flores defense that only has allowed 2 first downs from 27 tries at 3rd and 6 or longer.
Paul, that's why you don't see the quarterback option much in the NFL at the NFL level, because guys like Dallas Turner and Jonathan Grenard, they're just too good at athletes to chase the quarterbacks down.
Cleveland is 1 of 4 on 3rd down. Jerry Jeudy without a catch today and motion to the left. Gabriel back to pass. He's flustered. Oh, he gets out of it, runs up the middle. 10, 15, angles to the left. Tripped up by Harrison Smith beautifully at the 19-yard line. He missed the first down by 2 yards. And Gabriel looked like he was in business for a second 9-yard run, but not enough to get a first down, and the Browns are punting.
Well, I guess if you're 5'11", the only advantage at quarterback is when you do pull that thing down and start to scramble. It is hard to see him. He just disappeared in those big bodies up front. But what a drive-saving tackle by Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith's been coming in on that 3rd down in those 3rd down situations. Not a lot of base downs for him today.
Bojorquez, 8th year New Mexico, kicking to Miles Price. Vikings should have good field position after this. Left-footed punt. Bojorquez drives it. Flag comes in. Price retreats and catches it at the 23 to the 25, center of the field, taken down at the 32, and he held onto the ball. So a 7-yard return for Miles Price. Now there was a flag early in the equation.
He's going to be
During the
holding against
return,
us.
holding, receiving team number 13. That's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's Ty Felton, the jammer on the gunner with the hold. So the Vikings have been called for five penalties accepted today against the Minnesota Vikings, the most penalized team in the NFL. 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. Game tied at 7 from North London and Tottenham Hotspur. It's Vikings football. Our friends at TimberTech have a checklist at the website for those of you desiring a deck. Go to timbertech.com, get started there. And after you go through the checklist of what to do with the decking and to find a contractor and everything, get yourself some samples. You'll love them. They'll send them to you for free, timbertech.com. And finally, when you work with those contractors, you will recognize TimberTech works with only the best. So if you need a deck with deck durability, start at timbertech.com.
When the game is over, it's time to relax. No matter if it's a win or loss, you always win at Spalon Montage, the Twin Cities' premier salon and spa destination for over 25 years. With convenient locations in Edina, Woodbury, and Chanhassen, there's a Spalon close to you. Right now, football fans, you can get a bonus when you give the gift of Spalon. Purchase a $175 gift certificate and receive a $25 gift certificate for yourself. Visit spalon.com now or call 952-915-2900.
Looking for weekend plans? The Artisan Home Tour invites you to step inside Minnesota's most exceptional residences homes designed with unmatched craftsmanship, timeless style, and the kind of detail that takes your breath away. 21 custom Artisan homes are open for you to explore this October, Fridays through Sundays, noon to 6. Don't just imagine extraordinary living, walk through it and meet the talented builders and remodelers behind the design. Get tickets at artisanhometour.org. That's artisanhometour.org.
Vikings fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your home for exclusive coverage of your favorite local teams. And there are more ways to watch this season. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream your hometown teams. Or watch through a TV provider. Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com for details.
Hey Vikes fans, it's head coach Kevin O'Connell. Join PA and I Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. to talk about today's game and look ahead to our next opponent. Right here on the audio home for Vikings football, KFAN.
Hey, Buffalo Wild Wings has you covered all football season. Win 6 free wings when you watch the Minnesota Vikings play. Score 6 free boneless or traditional wings when the Minnesota Vikings get 2 sacks. Only at Buffalo Wild Wings, Minnesota locations. The Vikings have had at least 2 sacks in 8 consecutive games. That's the longest streak going in the NFL. They have 0 today. 7-7, 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. Carson Wentz first down from under center. Handoff goes to Xavier Scott to the right side. He crosses the 15, and then he's wrapped up by a couple of Browns after a run of 4. It's 2nd and 6.
That's Carson Schlesinger that brings him down, but nice cutback. The successful runs that the Vikings have had, at least the efficient runs, getting 4 or 5 yards a clip, they're downhill. Now, they may not be straight downhill. They might be cutbacks, but they're not these long, developing zone style of runs. They're just trying to get north and south, and they've been pretty efficient at doing so.
2nd down from the 18. Xavier Scott, the single set. Josh Oliver in motion to the right. Carson Wentz is under center. Play action. Carson boots out to his left. He's going to throw the ball out of bounds over the heads of many members of the Cleveland Browns, nearly into the stands. So now it is 3rd and 7, and the Vikings are 1 of 2 on 3rd down.
Yeah, smart play by Carson Wentz on the bootleg. The Cleveland Browns get to a 5-man front and really just blitz off the edges, and so there's not a whole lot there. But again, heads up play by Carson Wentz, getting him out of the pocket. Paul, he hasn't been a target in the middle of the backfield very often. C.J. Ham in there now for protection. We're going to try to get north and south.
Wentz, 7 of 11, 73 yards out of the shotgun on 3rd down, 3rd and 7. Takes the snap. Cleveland rushes for Wentz. He gets away from pressure. Mason Graham, the rookie, is buried. Wentz fires down the field. Caught at the 50-yard line and knocked out of bounds at the 35 is Jalen Naylor. That's a long flag on the play, and that pass, by the way, may have been tipped by a Brown. But nevertheless,
let's see what we're going to...
There are fouls against both teams on the play. Offside, defense number 95. Holding, offense number 64. Those fouls will offset. 3rd down.
so that was a gain of around 59 yards, nullified by multiple infractions. And it was Myles Garrett, who has at least 3 offsides called against him this year. But Wentz got himself away from pressure nicely, and he threw the ball deep and over the head of Rayshon Jenkins, a backup safety. But it's for naught, and now it's still 3rd and 7 from the 17.
Paul, a penalty cost us a 50-yard gain. That would have stood had Blake Brandel not been holding. So, again, these penalties are just haunting us.
Yeah, it was 47 yards that was nullified. Wentz on 3rd down, looks left, sees nothing, goes to run, spins away from a Brown at the 20, and with some tough love yardage, Carson Wentz will come up short of the 1st down at about the 23-yard line. They needed 7. He ran for 6, and Kevin O'Connell sends the punt team out in a game tied at 7 with 6:45 and counting to go in the 1st half.
Another good decision by Carson Wentz, Paul, and we're seeing him on the edges, getting around, getting to the outside, but there's absolutely nowhere to go. The Browns play so much man-to-man. When a quarterback does scramble, the man-to-man just stays that way. It's the zone teams that sometimes lose coverage, but in this case, Cleveland's sticking to it.
High spiraling punt by Ryan Wright. Larvodan, in his first National Football League game, catches the punt, runs to the right side across the 25, and he'll be taken down at the 27-yard line. And that's where the Browns will begin. That is Gabe Lavardan. That was his first National Football League touch, and he's returning punts and kicks along with Jerome Ford, because one of the better returners in the NFL, DeAndre Carter, hurt himself at Ford Field last game, and he's going to be out for several games. So now the Browns begin from their own 26-yard line. Dylan Gabriel, 7 of 10, 43 yards, a touchdown to Harold Fannin Jr. So Gabriel's yards per attempt is 4.3. His passer rating is 111.7. He's run once for 5 yards. This is his National Football League starting debut. He did mop up a little bit in a couple of blowout losses to Detroit and to Baltimore. Gabriel goes under center. The center is Ethan Posick, 9th year from LSU. And they're going to run a jet sweep right to left. And turning it up at the 35-yard line is Malachi Corley, 2nd year Western Kentucky. He was elevated today from their practice squad due to injuries to their wide receivers like DeAndre Carter and Cedric Tillman. And that's a run of 11 yards and a 1st down for Cleveland.
A creative running on both for both teams, I think, but for different reasons. One, you have a young quarterback in Cleveland, offensive line beat up for the Minnesota Vikings, so we're seeing the jet sweeps. A lot of creativity in the running game.
The Browns have run it 11 times and thrown 10. Gabriel's under center, puts rookie Bond in motion to the right. Handoff Judkins to the right side. Tackled sweetly by Ivan Pace Jr. at about the 39-yard line. Gain of 2, maybe 3 for this talented Ohio State rookie. It'll be 2nd and right around 8.
That might be the best tackle we've seen Ivan Pace make in quite some time, Paul. I mean, he's been to the point. He's just not been able to wrap up and bring guys down. And with Quinshawn Judkins, as impressive that he has been, that was a good tackle.
2nd and 8 for Cleveland from its own 39. 5 minutes and counting to go in the 1st half. Gabriel back under center. Tight end David Njoku to the left. And rookie wide receiver Isaiah Bond in motion to the right. Play action for Gabriel. And he is taken down. He's sacked. Tyrion Ingram Dawkins Judkins with his first National Football League sack if he gets the full thing. Levi Drake Rodriguez was also in the mix, and the Vikings finally have sacked this rookie.
It was a blitz. You had Harrison Smith walking up on the outside and showing it, and just got around KT Leviston, Paul. So maybe that explains the Cam Robinson, KT Leviston in and out. But great rush by Tyron Ingram Dawkins, Paul. He's playing very, very well.
So now it is 3rd and 13 as Gabriel goes out of the shotgun, faces a blitz, straight drop, throws to the right side, and it's caught. Or is it? Yes, Jerry Jeudy caught it at the Vikings 48-yard line. And that's going to be a first down for the Cleveland Browns. That was 3rd and 13, and now they're in a hurry.
Yeah, Isaiah Rodgers is trying to tell them to replay it and take a look at it.
But the Browns get no. O'Connell got the flag in. Yeah, Kevin O'Connell threw the red flag. That's why the Browns were so much in a hurry. So that was 3rd and 13. Jeudy caught it for a 13 or 14-yard gain, and what would be a first down for the Browns. But
Slaughter is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed catch. Timeout.
All right, so we have our first challenge with 3:55 to go in the first half. Game tied at 7 on the KFA and Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our built wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait, get behind the wheel of a new Ford today, based on calendar year total sales.
This is how your feet feel in a pair of bad-fitting shoes. And this is how your feet feel in a pair of great-fitting shoes from Trade Home Shoes. Trade Home Shoes, proud partner of the Minnesota Vikings, has been delivering premium footwear for over 100 years. We are Minnesota-based, employee-owned, and here to help your whole family find shoes that fit. Trade Home Shoes. Enjoy life. Feet first.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists. Shop the sales and get fuel savers. Talk about convenient. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
Hey, it's Meat Sauce here. It's a beautiful Sunday morning for some early morning football. Vikings Browns now. Power Trip Morning Show returns tomorrow, 5:30 to 9, right here at The Fan.
Scoreboard Central.
Brought to you by the Minnesota Lottery. You can play the new Vikings scratch game from the Minnesota Lottery for a chance to win up to $100,000 instantly. Daniel Jones leading the Colts to a 3-1 start so far this season. They're going to be taking on the Raiders. He's doing this with 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions so far. Taylor on the ground, though, for the Colts, 414 and 3 TDs. This might be one of the worst games. Giants and Saints. Giants sitting at 1-3, Saints 0-4, maybe the worst team in the NFL, and maybe the other worst team in the NFL, that would be the Jets. They're taking on the Cowboys. Now back to PA.
Thanks, Moss. 7-7, 4:13 to go. The Jerry Jeudy purported catch was overturned. So Ryan Cordell, his father Roger listens from, I believe, Maryland and or the East Coast. Ryan Cordell, one of the coaches for the Vikings, he's the ruler of the reversal. He's the one that gets in Kevin O'Connell's ear and says challenge. And 13 times they've been accurate out of 21 challenge tries. And this time it forces the Browns to punt. Miles Price has his heels on the 20. High snap from Sunahara. Bajorquez with a Bajor bomb. Bounces at about the 10-yard line. That's a fantastic punt by Corey Bajorquez. In fact, he goes out of bounds at the 11-yard line. It'll be a 56-yard boomer for the 8th-year veteran from New Mexico. And here comes the Minnesota Vikings offense.
Yeah, you mentioned Ryan Cordell, Paul. That overturning of that challenge of that play was absolutely huge, because that would have been almost half of what Cleveland's had passing already this game in that one play. So for that to be reviewed and make Cleveland punt, now with 4 minutes left on the clock, the Vikings still have all of their timeouts because they got that one back. You have an opportunity now to maybe put something together and get ahead going into halftime.
And they get the ball to begin the second half. 1st and 10, handoff Jordan Mason to the left side, hit at the point of attack, falls ahead to the 13 for a gain of 2. And we run down to Ben Lieber. What's up, Nacho?
Well, I know a lot of people are curious about how this offensive line, this kind of patchwork offensive line is playing. And I've been watching Joe Huber play that left guard spot. And guys, I understand that he had a pre-snap penalty early in this game, but when it comes to just his gameplay, it's very impressive for a rookie. He may not pack a lot of punch at the point of attack, but his footwork, his athleticism, his ability in pass protection to reset his hands and feet so quickly, he's done a great job protecting on the inside part of the offensive line.
Undrafted from Wisconsin, worked really hard in training camp to make the team, and he made it. Now he makes his first NFL start as Wentz goes back to pass on 2nd and 9, throws to Jefferson to the right side, incomplete. So now to be 3rd and 9, but we can see what they were doing there. Carson Schwessinger, 2nd-round rookie linebacker from UCLA, somehow he got matched up in single coverage against Justin Jefferson, incomplete.
Yeah, then we're getting that. That's the thing, is you're getting the one-on-one coverages. Cleveland is not changing a ton of what they do, and we have to find a way to exploit that. That should have been a back shoulder bit that for Justin Jefferson, but just timing was off.
Minnesota 1 of 3 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 9 from its own 12 as Wentz works out of the shotgun. Looking over the middle, eludes a sack. Now he gets away from another, up the middle to the 15, and he's hit hard at the right, very close to the first down marker, but he's just short, maybe by a couple of feet to the 19. Carson took a big hit on that 7-yard run. And now Ryan Wright is in to punt.
Yeah, unfortunately, Paul, you're not burning a lot of time. You didn't get any first downs, and now we need the special teams unit to step up and exchange as much yardage here as possible. But Carson Wentz, Paul, he's not sliding today. He's trying to work his way and get as many first downs as he possibly can.
Wright averaging 54 yards a punt on a couple. Kicks this one away to LeVarden. He has some room near side to the 25-30, toe tapping the sideline to the 35-yard line. So that's a return of about 10 yards for Gabe LeVarden. LeVarden, a undrafted rookie from South Carolina, playing in his first National Football League game. So we have 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Each team with all 3 timeouts, and Cleveland will scrimmage from its own 34-yard line, led by Dylan Gabriel, the Oregon rookie who threw 155 touchdowns during his 6-year collegiate run. That's most in FBS history, from Central Florida to Oklahoma to Oregon. He works out of the shotgun. Dylan Sampson, fellow rookie, in motion to the left, back to the right. 2 receivers to the right. Snap on first down. Handoff, Dylan Sampson. He's buried by Levi Drake Rodriguez. 4th tackle for loss this season by LDR. And it's 2nd and 14, approaching the 2-minute warning, and the Browns are in a hurry.
Yeah, great movement by our defensive front. Ethan Posick, Wyatt Teller, they just left them unblocked.
Gabriel, empty backfield, takes the snap, 4-man rush, throws a fastball with his left hand to the right, caught Jerry Jeudy on a slant at the 36. Quick hitting gain of 6 yards, so it'll be 3rd and 8 when we come back. After the 2-minute warning, game tied at 7 from Tottenham Hotspur on the KFA and Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris.
Every team needs a top pick, and every home does too. That's why pros and homeowners choose Andersen, the #1 trusted window and door brand. Built to last through every season, Andersen makes it easy with windows and doors that perform as great as they look. So whether it's scoring style points or tackling tough weather, you can trust your home to Andersen, the official window and door partner of the Minnesota Vikings. 2024 Andersen brand surveys of U.S. contractors, builders, architects, and homeowners. For warranty info, visit AndersenWindows.com.
For the Vikings, growth is a team effort. Coaches maximize performance. Teammates push your limits. But in business, who's there to help you grow? Lumen, that's who. Like saving live broadcasts from lag time, helping deliver the in-stadium experience for fans with millions more around the globe, and bringing all the benefits of the cloud to your network. So it's as secure as a defensive line and as legendary as the fans that cheer them on. Welcome to the on-demand network that meets your demands. Learn more at lumen.com. Services not available everywhere.
Quick Trip and your Minnesota Vikings are teaming up to put you in the ride of your dreams. Picture this. You behind the wheel of a brand new 2025 Ford Bronco Big Bend. Nice picture. Make it happen. Stop by your local Quick Trip, and for every dollar you spend using Quick Rewards, you'll earn a point to spend in the Vikings Fan Zone. Buy special qualifying products and earn bonus Fan Zone points. Kick off your winning season the right way with Quick Trip and your Minnesota Vikings. Details at quicktrip.com/fanzone.
She's Jam, the ultimate Vikings fan.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Vikings Jam Show fan show. My special guest today is Jared Allen. So, Jared, who you got for the Vikings game this week?
Minnesota Vikings.
Me too. So, that's our show. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the Minnesota Lottery, who reminds you this could be your year. Play the new
Vikings
Scratch Game for a shot at $100,000, game tickets, and more. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
This is Vikings Browns from London, live on The Fan. Here's Paul Allen.
Welcome back, Ben Lieber, Pete Bursich, Paul Allen, on-site producer, Chris Hockey. The engineer is Jay Dubb. He's the Sultan of Sound, Jared Wells. And Greg Peters from Vikings.com on the numbers and the stats today. Brandon Molesky, the Master Control Supervisor at the flagship KFAN, with the executive producer of the audio network, Chad Abbott by his side. And here comes Dylan Gabriel on 3rd and 9 from his own 35. He's thrown for 43 yards, and we're almost at halftime. Game tied at 7. The lefty looking to his left, throwing to his left, and it's caught by rookie Isaiah Bond. Attacked immediately by Jeff Okuda. That's close to the first down. I don't believe he got it. They didn't. He didn't. Missed it by maybe a foot and a half. So now it's going to be 4th and very short. The Browns are 1 of 1 on 4th down conversions. This one will take place from their own 44. Handoff Jerome Ford. Plows up the middle. He's attacked by Javon Hargrave, but he falls forward for the first down. Jerome Ford, 4th year from Cincinnati, with a 2-yard gain. And the Browns move the chains and hustle to the line of scrimmage. First down, 1st and 10 from their own 45. Each team has all 3 timeouts. Gabriel back to pass, looks left, swings it over the middle, nearly intercepted. Joshua Metellus. David Njoku, the behemoth tight end, 9th-year Kane, was the intended target. Metellus almost had an interception. 2nd down.
What a beautiful read by Metellus, because he was outside Njoku and then knew the route, knew he was going to work across the middle and cut it off and almost made it. But to go back and play, that's a gutsy call by Stefanski to go for it on 4th down, because if you don't make it, the Vikings already have the ball in Cleveland territory.
With 3 timeouts, and they get the ball to begin the second half. You're right. Jerome Ford back there with Dylan Gabriel. They're going to screen right to Ford. Turns it up. Nice play. He gets to the 45-50 to the Vikings 45. Theo Jackson will wrestle him out of bounds at the 39-yard line. So that's going to be a 16-yard screen gain for the Cleveland Browns. And it'll stop the clock, too, with a minute to go in the first half. In this battle of the Kevins, Kevin O'Connell, the 2024 NFL Coach of the Year. Kevin Stefanski, a 2-time Coach of the Year. Kevin O'Connell spent 2015 with the Cleveland Browns as quarterbacks coach. It was his first coaching job in the NFL. Kevin Stefanski spent 14 years with the Minnesota Vikings, including as offensive coordinator in 2018 and 19. First down for the Browns. Dylan Gabriel sidearms it to the left side and is caught by Jerome Ford, who's becoming a little bit of a problem. This veteran caught it outside the numbers at the 39, and he will thrust ahead to the 35 for a gain of 3. That'll make it around 2nd and 7. Browns are in a hurry despite having 3 timeouts. Gabriel out of the shotgun, facing a 4-man rush. He'll whip one left, incomplete. Communication breakdown between a couple of rookies there, Gabriel and Isaiah Bond. So now it's 3rd and 7.
Yeah, you talk about the running backs, Paul, and how they're becoming a bit of a problem. What they're doing is it's about flare control.
Let's go down to Ben.
You guys, we got a major breakthrough with an injury. Carson Wentz in the blue tent. all that physicality run the football. He is listed as questionable now to return with a shoulder injury. Hopefully we can get it figured out at halftime.
Holy cow. Thank you, Ben. 35 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and 7 for the Browns. Game tied at 7. Gabriel looking right, throwing right, man wide open, and it's caught for a first down. Jerry Jeudy put a sweet move on Byron Murphy Jr. It's a 10-yard gain, and Kevin Stefanski will take his first of 3 timeouts here in the first half with 29 seconds to go. And nice timing by Ben there. If the Vikings perchance get the ball back here in the first half, which is a long shot, but they get it to start the second half. And Carson Wentz, questionable to return.
Right, and the big question is which shoulder is it? I mean, if it's a throwing shoulder, then that's a huge problem. If it's the other one, it's just, can he tolerate it as he's going through it? But we mentioned it right when the play happened. I mean, he was hit hard by Schlesinger, and that's Wentz just trying to do maybe too much.
Yeah.
Trying to get that first down.
Gabriel starting to heat up a little bit. 12 of 18, 85 yards, and a touchdown to Harold Fannin Jr. 1st and 10 from the Vikings 26, deep in the first half. Game tied at 7. Gabriel back to pass. He'll throw it to the right side, and it is caught by David Njoku at the 9-yard line. They matched up Njoku, who stayed in bounds, with Isaiah Rodgers for a 17-yard hit. Another timeout by Cleveland. And Isaiah is, he's arguably the best corner this team has, but Njoku's just so tall.
Well, they were playing cover 2, and it's the corner that's playing it deep to short, and they threw the ball to Njoku. Isaiah Rodgers made a great read on it, Paul, but to your point, he gets back there with Harrison Smith over the top. He's just not tall enough to get up there. I mean, a very well-thrown football by Dylan Gabriel to put it up high where only Njoku can get it. Now, Cleveland is inside of our 10-yard line, and we got to make him kick a field goal.
Njoku is 6'4", Isaiah Rodgers 5'10", and they scheme that thing up beautifully to find single coverage.
Second timeout.
Vikings take a timeout. So Cleveland took its second timeout. Minnesota just took its first. 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. 25 seconds to go in the first half, and we're all tied at 7.
And Cleveland still has 1 timeout here, so they can run the football at some point. But Dylan Gabriel is getting into a little bit of a rhythm here with this quick passing game, Paul.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to get him off of this as quickly as possible.
11th play of a possession that's gone 57 yards, taken 2 minutes, 5 seconds. 1st and goal for Cleveland. Dylan Gabriel wearing the brown Cleveland Browns uniform, orange and white stripes around the shoulders. Puts Jerome Ford in motion to the left. It's a gun run to Ford, and he is blown up at the line of scrimmage by Eric Wilson. It'll be no gain, and Cleveland will take its 3rd and final timeout on 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line as Harrison Smith and Javon Hargrave check into the game.
Yeah, that ball was run right into the teeth of a 2-linebacker blitz. Both Eric Wilson and Ivan Pace were blitzing in those gaps, so that play was dead before it was even snapped. But, like we said, that's their last timeout. 21 seconds to go. Now, if the play... Expect a couple shots at the end zone, Paul, because if you catch a football in bounds and you're tackled, they're going to have to figure out if they're going to hustle out their field goal team right here. So expect a couple shots right here.
And what's interesting for them is Quinshawn Judkins, that outstanding rookie, has not played all of this possession. 3 receivers left. 2nd and goal. Gabriel looking the way of the 3 receivers. Ball's tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it's out of bounds barely. Byron Murphy Jr. toe tapped the sideline at the 4, but could not corral it for an interception. He had 6 last year. So now with 16 seconds to go in the first half, it is 3rd and goal from the 9. And that ball definitely was tipped at the line of scrimmage. It was Jonathan Grenard who got around KT Leviston, the left tackle.
Yeah, Grenard has 1 sack this year, Paul, but the amount of 6 QB hits going into this game, the amount of tip passes, he's just so valuable on the outside.
3rd and goal, empty backfield, 3 receivers left, 2 right. Game tied at 7.
Timeout, number 2, Minnesota. 30-second timeout.
All right, so they go 3rd and goal from the 9. So when you have a timeout like that, is it to see the personnel where they're set up, and then we're going to take a timeout and adjust?
I think we only had 10 guys on the field because I'm just seeing Ivan Pace run on the field and nobody's coming off.
Wow.
Because sometimes it's a matter of not having the right personnel in the huddle. Now Ivan Pace runs back out. So sometimes that's it, Paul. When you take that timeout, it's you see empty. Maybe you want to get a different defensive crew in there and get a different call.
Yeah, Quinshawn Judkins, the Ohio State rookie, on the sideline and with his helmet off. Empty backfield, 3rd and goal from the 9. Gabriel, 3 receivers left, 2 right, flag. False start, left tackle, KT Leviston.
Prior to the ball being snapped, false start. Offense number 72, that's a 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So now it is 3rd and goal from the 14.
That makes a huge difference, Paul. I mean, now you're at the 14-yard line. It has to be a longer developing route to get it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah.
So get Jeff Okudah out, an extra defensive lineman in. So the Vikings are going to try to put pressure. They have more time now because these routes have to develop longer to get after the quarterback.
Each team with 5 penalties. 3rd and goal from the 14. 16 seconds to go in the first half. Empty backfield. 3 receivers left. 2 right. Jerry Jeudy wide right. Gabriel throws to the end zone. Incomplete. He threw it out of bounds. Back center of the end zone. Looking for rookie Harold Fannin Jr., who already has a touchdown catch. That play took 3 seconds. So the Browns get it 1st and goal from the 9. They back up to the 14. Bunch of timeouts taken there too. And now Andre Schmidt, last name spelled S-C-M-Y-T. He's in his first year from Syracuse. He'll attempt a field goal. This will be about 31 yards right hash. He's 5 of 7 this year. Snap spot. Schmidt's kick is up. And the Cleveland Browns have taken the lead with 9 seconds to go in the first half, capping a 13-play, 53-yard possession. It took 2 minutes, 14 seconds, and they did it all without rookie Quinshawn Judkins. 8 runs, 51 yards, 6.5 yards per with a 32 long. I mean, Judkins was kind of gouging the Vikings in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Put the binoculars on him during that possession. He had no helmet.
I think the one thing for Judkins, though, Paul, he's more of a base down guy, and when you get in this 2-minute situation, I think Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson
good point
are a little bit more well suited for what they're trying to do. But still, 13 plays to go a little over 50 yards. The Vikings defense is making Cleveland earn it.
All right, so Carson Wentz is questionable to return, has been reported. Now we're going to go back to Ben for some Christian Darrisaw information.
Well, I'm hoping that there's nothing to this, but the fact that we are going to be on offense for another play, most likely to take a knee. He did jog past me with one of the training staff members back to the locker room. I think the key word is he jogged.
Yeah.
Brian O'Neill, actually, we all know that's not playing this game. He was quickly right behind him. Probably just a little show of support and solidarity.
Here comes Miles Price from the 5, center of the field to the 25-30, 35-40. Flag comes in late. Miles Price taken down at the 41. And that'll be a return of 36 yards, but nullified.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 41, that's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
Kobe King. Wow, 6 penalties against the most penalized team in the NFL, the Minnesota Vikings, in the first half. And it started with things going amiss from the opening kick here at Tottenham Hotspur. Will Reichert mishit it, I guess, and missed the landing zone. So therefore, Cleveland began at its own 40-yard line. So from that moment all the way through now, the Vikings have 6 penalties against them. And Walter Rouse is the left tackle. Max Brosmer is the quarterback. And with all that operation intact, they'll take a knee and send us to halftime. Vikings get the ball to begin the second half. It's 10-7 Cleveland from Tottenham Hotspur in North London on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings audio network, driven by Polaris.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our Built Wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait, get behind the wheel of a new Ford today, based on calendar year total sales.
For Minnesotans, the outdoors is home. Nobody gives you more ways to get there than Polaris. From Indian motorcycles and Ranger side-by-sides to Indy snowmobiles and Bennington pontoons, we bring Minnesota's best to every season. Our wooded trails, twisted highways, and the rugged shores of all 10,000 lakes are an invitation. A chance to let what's outside challenge what's inside you. Polaris. Think outside. A proud partner of your Minnesota Vikings.
Eagan, Minnesota is the proud home of the Minnesota Vikings, and it's also the ultimate destination for fantastic fun. Eagan features over 100 unique restaurants and amazing attractions, such as Twin Cities Premium Outlets and the Vikings Museum. And when you stay in any of Eagan's 19 incredible hotels Thursday through Sunday and pick your package, you'll receive 2 free tickets to the Vikings Museum. Other great offers are also available. For complete details, visit enjoyegan.com. That's enjoyegan.com.
From coin flip to final whistle, show your diehard passion for your Minnesota Vikings all season long with your favorite purple and gold gear from Scheels. Bring your best this year, whether you're cheering from US Bank Stadium or from your living room with your favorite jerseys, hats, collectibles, and Vikings branded gear from the Scheels fan shop. Visit us at your local Scheels or Scheels.com and let's cheer on the Vikings. Scheels, proud partner of the Minnesota Vikings and football fans everywhere.
Vikings football heard here. On FM 100.3 KFAN, The Fan.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Vikings football.
The Wild open the NHL season Thursday night. When they play the Blues, puck drops at 7 on the audio home of the Wild. FM 100.3 KFXN, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
The Minnesota Vikings halftime report is presented by U.S. Bank, Polaris, Happy Thursday Spiked Refreshers, and by Twin Cities Orthopedics. Now live from the KFAN studios, here's Mike Mussman.
Browns have the lead, 10-7 at the half, and here are your halftime stats. They're presented by Lumen, official technology partner of the Minnesota Vikings. Wentz, he goes 7 of 12, 73 yards in a rating of 76, but Akers went 1 for 1, 32 yards and a touchdown throwing to Josh Oliver, and that's a rating of 158.3. We'll get details hopefully here in the second half of our halftime show with Chris Hockey about Carson Wentz as he went to the locker room with a shoulder injury. Xavier Scott, 4 carries, 21 on the ground, 5.3 per, and Jefferson leading the way with 3 receptions, 38 yards. On the other side, the rookie Gabriel goes 13 of 21, 102 yards, a touchdown, and 0 interceptions, 89.8 there on that rating. And it's Junkins on the ground. He goes 8 carries, 51 yards, going at 6.4, was gouging us really early, but just kind of slowed him down just a little bit in the second quarter, that is. And Njoku goes 3 receptions for 41 yards. Big key for us, the 6 penalties. They've had 5 penalties, but we're still the most penalized team in the NFL. Hey, there's a new way to stream your Vikings coverage, shows, and insight right on your big screen TV. It's Fox Local, a free streaming app. Search Fox Local on your streaming device. Install and stay connected to your Minnesota Vikings and local news with Fox Local. Scoring goes this way as the Browns get it going underway in the first quarter. 6:49. Fanning catches a pass from Gabriel. That's a 1-yard pass. Touchdown, 7-0. They have the lead. Then in the first quarter, 2:30 on the clock. As you heard, Cam Akers throws to Josh Oliver, 32 yards, all tied up. And then Schmidt gets a 31-yard field goal there at the end of the half. And that gives us the 10-7 Browns lead. Located at Eden Prairie Center, Wildfire offers steaks, chops, and seafood in a modern-day 1940s supper club. You can join them for lunch or dinner. You can do carry-out, plan your next event in one of their private rooms, or let them cater to your home or office. Visit wildfirerestaurant.com. As I mentioned, Chris Hockey, he's going to be joining me coming up next. Lots of questions to ask about that first half and what might happen here in the second half. 10-7, Browns have the lead. This is Vikings football.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that need it the most. whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Hey, friends with food allergies. Life is about to get way easier. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Look, let's not argue. You've got enough stress. Just remember this name. Liam's. Liam's. Lee to the ums. As in Liam's frozen entrees that are free of the top 9 allergens. What? Gluten-free, too. Delicious, nutritious, ready in minutes, safe meals for you, your kids, and even those adorable people who can eat whatever they want. Liam's rocks. To find which grocer's freezers are cool enough to stock Liam's, head to saferplate.com.
Vikings fans, meet the MVP of flavor, the Humble Goat. Our cranberry cinnamon goat cheese earned second place in the World Champion Cheese Contest, and our plain goat cheese just scored second at the American Cheese Society Awards. Smooth, creamy, healthy, and perfect for game day and every day. Find the Humble Goat cheese at your local store, and don't forget, Humble Goat protein powder is fueling fans everywhere. Available now on Amazon. World class and Minnesota proud.
Hey, Minnesota, it's home tour season. The Parade of Homes is back this fall with over 300 brand new homes open across Minnesota. Free to tour every Friday through Sunday, noon to 6. From modern townhomes to luxurious dream homes, you'll see it all. Step inside, get inspired, and imagine what's possible. Plan your tour now at paradeofhomes.org. That's paradeofhomes.org, where your home's dreams kick off.
The Twin Cities home for Vikings talk. FM 100.3 KFAN. The Fan.
By the way, Cam Akers is in the game, not Jordan Mason.
Right, Akers, it's a wildcat. They're going to snap it direct to Cam Akers. He's throwing to Josh Oliver inside the 10. Touchdown! 32-yard touchdown pass from Cam Akers to Josh Oliver, and the Minnesota Vikings are within 1.
Paul Allen, Pete Bursich on the call. Vikings trail 10-7 to the Browns, and you can unleash legendary power and performance with Indian Motorcycles. The next generation of American motorcycling is now. See your local Indian motorcycle dealer. And off we go to London. Chris Hawkey is joining us here. And Hawk, we had heard so much that London is kind of like a home game for the Minnesota Vikings. I wonder, because I haven't really heard much on the crowd side, is it really, I mean, are you seeing a big presence for your Minnesota Vikings in the crowd?
I certainly am. Yeah, there's a lot of purple here, and if we're behind a window, so we're not nearly as loud as we normally would be, you'd be able to hear this so much better. It's a very, very loud stadium, but there's way more purple here than there is Browns fans, that's for sure.
All right, we got some concern here. Carson Wentz goes to the locker room early with a shoulder. It looked like on the sidelines, and from what I was seeing here on the TV coverage, it looked like it was his non-throwing shoulder, but again, they say questionable. Do you know anything more about that injury?
I've been looking the entire halftime to get some information. Ben's been trying to check first as well. We've got nothing right now. My guess is they took him back early to shoot him up in that left shoulder to send him back out there to get him back out on the field. That's what I think might happen. If not, we may see the very beginning of a brand new era of Vikings football here at that with the young man at quarterback. Even more concerning for me is the fact that Christian Darrisaw went back before the end of the half as well. That could have just been maybe it could have been something small, like had to go to the bathroom. Could have been something bigger than that. But if he doesn't come out and play, we got Walter Rouse playing at that tackle position. So lots of questions here at halftime for your Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, hopefully it was just they knew they were going to just take a knee so he could go back to the locker room, and Brosmer goes and takes that knee for the Vikings to end the half there. Interesting, Jordan Addison benched for the first quarter. Do we know anything behind that?
No, we do know that it was something that the coaches made a decision on, and we know that that means he did something wrong. I am completely speculating, completely guessing. I have no idea, but it seems he did something that, and you would guess maybe it involved a curfew of some kind, something of that nature, but that's complete speculation on my part. But we do know, and Ben confirmed it, that was a coach's choice. He did not play the first quarter, and I'm going to guess that was a punishment of some kind.
Hawk, it was cool to watch the Vikings coming up with new ways to get like jets open when he was motioned into the backfield and goes for 11 yards. yards on that one. But then also you're seeing lots of different things that they're doing. Naylor end around. You also had the flip to Scott. And then, of course, Akers to Josh Oliver. They're coming up with creative ways to move the ball.
That's great, and I'm having a great time watching that, and I'm, worried about the injuries, of course, but I'm most worried about these stupid penalties. Do you know how much better this game would look for us right now if it weren't for these stupid penalties? The long pass, I believe, to Naylor. There was 2 penalties, one on each side, that negated the entire play. Think about if that play doesn't get called back. We've got to get ourselves under control and get these stupid penalties cleaned up. That's the biggest thing for me right now, is figuring out how to make sure these players get out of their own way.
Yeah, that would have been a 59-yard reception there. Well, we even started the game with the short kick, and we get the flag. I mean, second possession, we're getting a hold. I mean, we have 6 total penalties for 40 yards in the first half.
Doesn't it look like we're the better team, but we just keep shooting ourselves in the foot? I mean, let's be honest, Myles Garrett hasn't been a factor at all in this game. In fact, I don't know if he's injured or what's going on with him, but he hasn't been much of a factor at all. You got to feel good about that. But right now, again, we got to make sure who's playing quarterback. We'll see if Brosmer comes out. Maybe this is the beginning of a Disney movie that's about to start. You have no idea. Or Carson comes out and plays as well. But let's get these guys healthy. But more than anything, let's get our heads in the right spot so we quit making these stupid penalties. We can't let a team like the Browns hang around like they have, because when you do that, they lead by a field goal at halftime.
Chris Hockey from the Power Trip Morning Show there in London, 10-7. The Browns have the lead. Now, did we know going into this game that Harrison Smith was going to be on basically a pitch count? For a while there, he was only coming in, not like base coverage. He was just coming in on like third downs and stuff like that.
I think it's going to be that way probably until after the break here, after the bye week, because whatever was keeping him out early in the season is still bothering him. I think that's pretty obvious. Even when he isn't on the field, he seems as if he's playing on something that's tender. Who knows what's going on with him there? But I think the bye week's going to do the entire team good, but definitely going to do him good as well. Man, let's just find a way to win this game and get into the bye week and get healthy and get back and start this second half of the season better. You know what I mean? Like, we're so close to being a good team, and the injuries are the number one thing keeping us away from that right now.
Yeah, whether it's Wentz or Brosmer, the quick throws will continue, and they're moving him around in the pocket and stuff like that. Both teams really are going with the quick passing game.
Yeah, and I see number 12 down there throwing the ball right now, so I do not see Wentz out on the field. Or is that him running out right there? Here comes, there's Carson Wentz. He just ran out without his helmet on. He's got the ball and he's throwing.
All right, good.
That's
news.
Carson Wentz right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Carson Wentz throwing the ball as I'm watching it on the field. I think he's going to be back, boys.
All right, Hawk. Thank you so much, buddy.
You got it.
Chris Hockey there from the Power Trip Morning Show there in London. We get the ball to start the second half in London. Browns have the lead 10-7, and showcase your football fandom by submitting your photo as the Jameson Football Fanatic of the Week. Enter at Vikings.com for your chance to win weekly prizes and also a chance at the grand prize as well. 10-7 Browns. We got more coming up here in the second half on the Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris.
Vikings faithful, listen up. Your game day checklist is more than wearing purple and gold. It's about victory from the first play to the final whistle. During tense, close calls, Dove shampoo, body wash, and deodorant keep you fresh and dry from head to toe. And what's a true Vikings tailgate without the secret weapon to sliders and sides, Hellman's Real Mayo. Then when post-game dishes pile up like a defensive line, 7th generation detergent is the powerhouse that blitzes through the grease and grime. Stock up on Dove, Hellman's, and 7th generation. And Skol Vikings.
She's Jam, the ultimate Vikings fan.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Vikings Jam Show fan show. My special guest today is Jared Allen. So, Jared, who you got for the Vikings game this week?
Minnesota Vikings.
Me too. So that's our show. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the Minnesota Lottery, who reminds you this could be your year. Play the new
Vikings
Scratch Game for a shot at $100,000, game tickets, and more. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Hey, you're up early listening to the Vikings, and so are we here at Fox 9 Morning News.
But we're up early every morning because the early bird gets the worm. And the weather on the 9.
Plus the latest traffic updates, which with all this construction, we could really use right now.
And it's all live streaming on your TV or your phone with Fox Local.
Fox Local is Fox 9.
Hey,
Hey, Vikings fans, are you ready to grow your own Super Bowl team? GPAC has 34 years in the recruiting game, and we're here to help you source top talent across multiple industries nationwide. Don't wait on the sidelines. Visit gogpac.com today. That's GOGPAC.com. GPAC, your friends in South Dakota and proud supporters of the Minnesota Vikings. Skol Vikings and go GPAC.
Back to Vikings football on Minnesota's station for sports, FM 100.3 KFAN, The Fan.
Minnesota's offense will be on the field to begin the second half. And for an update on a couple of key players, here's Ben Lieber.
All right, everybody, let's just breathe a big sigh of relief because I got a couple of officials, and it's all good news. Christian Darrisaw went back to the locker room early just to get retaped, knowing that they're going to take a knee. Carson Wentz also got the thumbs up. He is good to go with that questionable shoulder injury. So things just feel better right here in the second half.
But what was interesting is up until about 30 seconds to go before the third quarter, Max Brosmer was warming up with his helmet on like potentially he was going to play. So it definitely bears following whatever is ailing Carson Wentz now. And boom, there is the Schmidt kick to the 3-yard line, and here comes Miles Price. Cleveland leads 10-7. Price to the 15, to the 20. Tries to make a Brown miss at the 25. It is Tryon Shoyinka, a backup linebacker. It's a 26-yard kick return for Miles Price. And now trailing 10-7, the Minnesota Vikings with Christian Darrisaw at left tackle and Carson Wentz at quarterback, as Nacho Lieber reported. They will start 1st and 10 from their own 29. Wentz 7 of 12, 73 yards, passer rating of 76. The Vikings' only touchdown, if you just joined us, running back Cam Akers out of the Wildcat formation. They ran the single wing, and he threw a 32-yard touchdown pass to Josh Oliver. It is 10-7 Cleveland, and here come the Vikings straight eye behind Wentz. He tries a middle screen to Jordan Mason, looking for blocking from Blake Brandel and Will Fries. Didn't get it, but the pass was incomplete. 2nd and 10.
And that play was there, Paul. It's just Wentz trying to just get rid of the football a little too quickly, and it was out past the hands of Jordan Mason. So an opportunity there, incomplete pass on 1st down, but had it gotten through, I mean, that was an I formation. We haven't seen I formation out of this offense in a long time.
Right.
So they fake the run and try to get all those defenders up the field.
Jefferson by himself to the right. Jordan Addison, who was out the entire first quarter in motion. Flip left, Jordan Mason. He heads up to the left side outside the numbers and countered at the 30, looking for blocks from Brandel and or Huber. And after all that, it's a 3-yard gain. So it's 3rd and 7 for the Minnesota Vikings.
Paul, remember that play, because had they gotten one more clean block, Jordan Mason, if he gets through that initial line, he would have gone for probably 50 on that play. So that's what the offensive coordinators do. Wes Phillips over there marks that one down, says that's a good run. We might see it again later.
Jordan Addison wide right, assumedly disciplined by not playing the entire first quarter. As Ben Lieber reported, there's no injury as Wentz goes back to pass. Fastball left, incomplete, flag. This is going to be holding on Greg Newsome on Justin Jefferson. And this will be pass interference, actually, and a 1st down for the Vikings. Here's Scott Novak.
Pass interference on the defense number 0. That's a spot foul and an automatic 1st down.
Paul, the Browns haven't been afraid to just one-up our wide receivers.
Right.
Greg Newsome, Denzel Ward, they are a physical bunch. We talked about that earlier. They are going to draw some penalties here and there. But when you see the one-on-one, we've seen this for a long time with Justin Jefferson here, you almost have to throw the football that way and just count on him making a play, because JJ has that kind of catch radius. And if they keep doing this one-on-one business, we're going to get a big play out of it at some point.
1st down, offset I right. It's a fake handoff from under center. Wentz throwing left, caught. Justin Jefferson at the Cleveland 35. On Greg Newsome, who singled him. That's a 21-yard reception and a 1st down. And for Justin Jefferson, he now has 59 receiving yards on 4 catches. And that's what Cleveland does. That was the intel into the week. They single receivers because they believe in their rush so much. 1st down, 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 35. Wentz under center. 13 and a half minutes to go in the third quarter. Cleveland leads 10-7. First possession of the second half. C.J. Ham in motion, left to right. Mason, the tailback. Wentz, play action, straight drop, throws right. Man wide open. Addison's first catch. Caught at the 24. Spins his way to the 20-yard line for a 15-yard gain. And another first down for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful route right there by Jordan Addison. Just he sees the zone and just settles right in the middle of it. And Wentz does a great job of finding him. To go back a play, Paul, that was like a play fake, and Justin Jefferson normally runs a clearing route, meaning he's just running a go. And about 18, 20 yards down the field, he just stopped. So that's a designed play, and it worked beautiful.
Fifth play of a possession that's gone 51 yards to start the second half. First down for the Vikings from the Cleveland 20, empty backfield. Carson Wentz out of the shotgun. He's going to fade it to Jefferson to the end zone. Tries to make a one-handed catch, incomplete. Front right of the end zone. That time he was singled by Denzel Ward, 8th year from Ohio State, playing in his 100th game. It's incomplete, 2nd and 10.
I like that throw, Paul. That was a beautiful throw just to the back shoulder of Justin Jefferson. It was a blitz. They blocked a good job by the front, but between the offensive linemen, the tight ends, the running backs, they picked up the blitz. You had the one-on-one. You throw the back shoulder. Man, that was a good decision to make.
Wentz 9 of 16 for 109 yards. He's going to hand it to Jordan Mason, who looks to swing it around the left side. 15 to the 10, shoved out of bounds at the 5. Jordan Mason with a 15-yard run, and it's 1st and goal, Minnesota.
We are picking on Greg Newsome by land and by air. Yeah, with a couple of places. Justin Jefferson on that play. Mason bounces it outside. Greg Newsome is the flat defender. Needs to turn that thing back inside. Mason just shook him out of his shoes and was able to turn the corner. Now it's 1st and goal. And this offense, Paul, has got a little bit of a rhythm here.
Great block by Jordan Addison on safety Grant Delpit to help free Mason. 1st and goal from the 6. 14-yard hit. Mason the single set. Wentz under center. Play action. Carson rolls out to the right, throws to Josh Oliver, caught at the 5, reaching for the end zone, chopped down between the 2 and the 1 or the 2 and the 3. Grant Delpit was the one to stop him, so that's a 3-yard gain. 2nd and goal from the 3.
And Paul, you mentioned Grant Delpit a number of times talking to Coach O'Connell, and he's 6'3", so you get out there and you think you get Josh Oliver in the flat. I mean, he falls down, he's going to gain about 3 or 4 yards already. And Delpit just doing a great job of being physical.
2nd and goal, Jordan Mason to the right of Wentz. It's a gun run. Mason up the middle to the end zone. Touchdown! A rushing touchdown by Jordan Mason. And the Minnesota Vikings have taken the lead 13-10.
What a beautifully designed drive, Paul, with exactly what they were getting, with getting the one-on-ones, to have the play fake a clearing route. Jordan Addison doing a great job settling in a zone. This offense, it looks like it used to, getting it done in the air, through the air. When we run, it's impactful.
Reichert 9 of 9 on extra points. Andrew DePaula sends it back to Ryan Wright. And Will Reichert's right-footed kick is good. And the Minnesota Vikings go 8 plays, 71 yards. It took 3 minutes, 49 seconds, capped by a Jordan Mason rushing touchdown. And on the Sleep Number scoreboard, Minnesota leads 14-10 from Tottenham Hotspur on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings audio network, driven by Polaris. Our friends at TimberTech have a checklist at the website for those of you desiring a deck. Go to timbertech.com, get started there. And after you go through the checklist of what to do with the decking and to find a contractor and everything, get yourself some samples. You'll love them. They'll send them to you for free, timbertech.com. And finally, when you work with those contractors, you will recognize TimberTech works with only the best. So if you need a deck with deck durability, start at timbertech.com.
You're listening to Vikings football. Metro Transit and the Minnesota Vikings make game day stress-free.
Join fellow fans and take Metro Transit to the game. North Star will service all games with Metro Blue and Green lines and multiple bus routes to carry you the final yard, straight to the gates of US Bank Stadium. No need to worry about parking or downtown traffic. Make your round trip easy with the all-day pass. No standing in line for a ticket after the game. Find your game plan at metrotransit.org/Vikings.
Step inside the extraordinary. The Artisan Home Tour is your chance to explore Minnesota's most exquisite residences' homes crafted with artistry, detail, and breathtaking design. From custom architecture to luxury finishes, these aren't just houses, they're masterpieces. Tour 21 Artisan homes this October. Open Fridays through Sundays, noon to 6. Experience the craftsmanship. Feel the inspiration. Find event details and plan your tour at artisanhometour.org. That's artisanhometour.org.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Right now, for a limited time, get 1.99% APR on the Hyundai Tucson or the Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end November 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
To Vikings football on Minnesota's station for sports, FM 100.3 KFAN, The Fan.
The Vikings go down and score a touchdown the opening drive of the second half. And guys, to me, it was all about calculated risks as a play caller for KOC. 3 separate times you threw the ball on first down. The very first play of this drive was an incomplete pass on the middle screen. And then we had a 21-yard play to JJ on a first down play action pass, along with a 15-yard pass to Jordan Addison on first down as well. So it looks like maybe the modus operandi for the second half is throw on early downs and keep this defense off balance.
Boom! Reichert's kick to Jerome Ford, fielded at the 5 to the 15, 20, 25, 30, and he stopped right there. About a 26, 27-yard return by Jerome Ford. So the Browns have the ball. The Vikings have the lead 14-10. And the Vikings scored 2 touchdowns, which means you get a free Big Mac from McDonald's. $2 minimum purchase required. Taste the victory. Want some food? Want some free food? Free Big Mac from McDonald's. $2 minimum purchase required. Let's taste this victory. Head into the bye, a 3-2 operation. Come out of it and play the Eagles, the champions. Dylan Gabriel puts Bannon Jr. in motion. Judkins, the tailback, he heads to the left side and he sprints to the 30, outside the numbers, 35 to the 40. It is a 12-yard run, but there's a flag on the play. All the way on the other side of the field, Scott Novak.
Legal formation on the offense, number 78 lined up in the backfield. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Jeez, holy cow, that's Jack Conklin, 10th year from Michigan State.
Check.
Lined up in the offensive lineman, lined up in the backfield. What's that mean?
Well, he's not. You have to. Your helmet has to break, or at least be even.
First down.
With the belt of the center. If you're behind that, and you line up that way, then you're considered in the backfield. And you have to have 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. So Cleveland's shooting themselves in the foot. And so far for the Vikings, we've had penalty problems, Paul. But that was the first half. The first half of this football game is the first half we've gone without giving up a quarterback sack. So if that trend continues, this offense may continue to fire the way it has.
7 penalties, 52 yards for Cleveland. Handoff, Judkins skips through the line of scrimmage right side, across the 30 to the 35, and he's upended at the 40-yard line. That's a 14-yard run on 1st and 15. And this Quinshawn Judkins may have a very, very bright future.
He does, and it's Ivan Pace again. Ivan Pace does a great job of working himself back over the blocker, but you're not going to ankle tackle Quinshawn Judkins. Right. Paul, you're right. You come away from a game like this very impressed. I mean, they've had quite the rookie class between Quinshawn Judkins and Harold Fannin, who led the team in receptions coming into this game. Their draft picks have all been good.
2nd and 1, fellow rookie Dylan Gabriel gives it to Judkins. He gallops for the first down up the middle, taken down by Jalen Redmond and Joshua Metellus. That'll be a plunge of 3 yards and a first down for the Cleveland Browns.
And this is the first time I think we've seen a team really challenge having Josh Metellus. I mean, Metellus is listed as a safety, but he plays linebacker quite a bit. And we do that a lot in the nickel-type situations, but they are running the ball at Metellus. They are trying to make him rally and tackle Judkins.
First down, Jerry Jeudy wide right, opposite Isaiah Rogers. Harold Fannin Jr. in motion to the right on first down. The handoff goes back to Judkins. He skips over a Viking at the 45-yard line, and he will lunge ahead to the 50. That's kind of an effortless run of 7 yards by Quinshawn Judkins, making it 2nd and 3. So he has 11 runs for about 70. I mean, he's at about 7 yards a clip, 10 for 68, actually.
Right, he was at 6'8" just a few minutes ago. So and it's starting to get off tackle, and that's where the Pittsburgh Steelers did a great job against us a week ago.
11 runs, 75 yards, and Jerome Ford spells Judkins. Now the handoff to the veteran Ford, and he sprints up the middle to the 45, now the 40-yard line of the Vikings. That's a 10-yard run by Jerome Ford. And another first down for the Browns, with the Vikings leading 14-10, approaching the midway point of quarter number 3.
And it's that same exact spot, Paul. They're getting it inside of our defensive tackles, but they're attacking straight downhill, and then right at the line of scrimmage, kind of bouncing it outside. And these gaps are forming in between our outside linebackers and our defensive tackles. They have to shore that up.
The Browns have run for 103 yards. Middle of the third quarter. Gabriel hands it to Ford. Not so much that time. He heads to the left side. Levi Drake Rodriguez and Bo Richter, a couple of second-year players, stop him after a gain of 2. Judkins returns. Ford departs at 2nd and 8.
Yeah, Cleveland has definitely dedicated themselves to the run on this drive, Paul. So you know that play action, something is going to come off of that. This is kind of the area of the field where you still have enough room to run some deep routes, so be ready.
Dillon Gabriel, third-round rookie from Oregon, the southpaw, the Honolulu native, goes under center. He takes the snap, rolls out to his left, hits Judkins on the run, 35-30, first down. Gets to the 25, thrust out of bounds at the Minnesota Vikings 20 by Eric Wilson and/or Byron Murphy Jr. Still a run of 18 yards by Quinshawn Judkins. Make that a pass of 18 yards and a first down for Cleveland.
It's flare control. You got the linebackers up. They're up in the line of scrimmage. They're faking this, faking that, and then on the snap, they're free releasing the running back. And he's just getting to the flat a lot faster than Eric Wilson can. So they're taking advantage of that with our linebackers.
Fannin Jr. in motion. Gabriel play action. Grenard comes flying in, but the rookie gets it off to David Njoku left side, and he leaps over Ivan Pace Jr. to about the 14-yard line where he goes out of bounds. That big old cane with a 6-yard catch and a leap to make it 2nd and 4. That was quite the athletic endeavor.
It was, and we've seen him on the hoof. I remember that from last year when we had the combined practices. When David Njoku's standing there, you just stop for a second because he is a specimen physically, and a guy that big jumping over linebackers, that's impressive.
14-10 Vikings, 2nd and 4 Browns from the Vikings 14. Gabriel back under center, hands it to Judkins, and with a burst he goes up the middle right into the awaiting arms of Eric Wilson, who's able to wrap him up after a gain of 2 yards. So that'll make it 3rd and 2 for Cleveland from the 12. And the Browns are 2 of 9 on 3rd down.
You're looking at the numbers. I mean, Judkins alone at 75 yards. Throw Ford in there, and they're nearly at 100. So they have really, really been dedicated to keeping the football on the ground. And without an Andrew Van Ginkel, it's tough, man. It's tough. Dallas Turner's got to buck it up.
3rd down. They've been bad on 3rd down today. This is 3rd and 1. Gabriel with a gun run to Judkins. Jonathan Allen wrapped him up and threw him down. One of the bigger plays Jonathan Allen has made for the Vikings this year. It'll be either a run of 0 or a loss of 1. And the Browns 2 of 2 on 4th down.
Yeah, and what they do is they bring in Aiden Huntington, a defensive lineman, to be an extra fullback. So they've done it before. This is a huge play, Paul. The Vikings come up with a stop right here. It's just like a turnover.
Defensive lineman Aiden Huntington is lined up far left outside of David Njoku on 4th and 1. Offset eye right behind Gabriel. The defensive lineman goes in motion behind Gabriel. They run that way to Judkins. He's nearly chopped down by Byron Murphy Jr. However, or was that Josh Metellus? But he falls ahead for a gain of 2. It doesn't matter. They got 2 and a first down.
That was Byron Murphy Jr. Could have hit him for a tackle for loss. Got too low. And again, Judkins, man, what an athlete. He puts that hand down as he's getting his legs cut off from underneath him, keeps the feet churning, and falls forward for a first down. So we had a free man at the point of contact, and it would have been our football, but we just were not able to bring Judkins to the ground.
The Browns are 3 of 3 on 4th down today. It's 1st and goal now from the 9-yard line. Minnesota leads 14-10. Fannin Jr. with a touchdown catch today in motion. And the handoff heads to the left side, and the whole operation is stood up at the line of scrimmage. It was Quinshawn Judkins. Stopped at the line of scrimmage, 2nd and goal from the 9.
I remember last time that the Browns were in this area, they made it look, they play action, made it look like a tight end blocking from the outside and then getting our linebackers one-on-one. When you get down in this red zone, the safeties get in the box. It's much tougher to run the football. That didn't look great for them, but they're coming out in the pistol, so we'll see.
Levi Drake Rodriguez and Jalen Redmond, the down lineman. Jonathan Grenard and Dallas Turner on the edge. 2nd and goal. Gabriel back to pass. Throws to the end zone. Incomplete. He overshot fellow rookie Isaiah Bond, who was doubled up anyway. And now it's 3rd and goal from the 9-yard line.
Yeah, Paul, that's what we were kind of referring to, is that you're running the football so well. Do it off of a play action. When you line up in a pistol and spread out the defense, you kind of tip your cap and give credit to Isaiah Rodgers and Byron Murphy Jr. They're working it out there because there's not a lot of room, and you can't leave these guys open for a fraction of a second.
3rd and goal from the 9. Dylan Gabriel, shotgun, takes the post-6 snap. Throw center of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Cleveland Browns. Center of the end zone, it's David Njoku with his first touchdown this year. And Cleveland has reclaimed the lead, 16-14 Browns.
Yeah, Byron Murphy got beat on a slant, Paul. Njoku gave him a little bit of a flick to the outside, and this is a situation where you got a corner on a tight end. You have to wall off that inside, or that safety needs to be down where he can intercept or hit Njoku by the time he gets to the end zone. So not a great rep by the defense.
Andre Schmidt for the extra point try. End over end is good. On the sleep number scoreboard, Dylan Gabriel, the rookie, has thrown 2 touchdown passes, the most recent one to veteran tight end David Njoku. And the Cleveland Browns have taken a 17-14 lead, 3:05 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's Vikings football.
Paul Sutton Bourbon is a namesake bourbon made by our family for 7 generations. Grain to glass, never sourced. Paul Sutton Bourbon, passed down to be passed around.
A winning team needs great players. At Trade Home Shoes, we have legendary players like Birkenstock, Brooks, New Balance, UGG, Adidas, and Nike. We also have top performers like Hoka, On, Olakai, Ufos, Ultra, and a rising star, Rival. Whether you're gearing up for game day or the daily hustle, score a winning pair for the whole family at Trade Home Shoes. Proud partner of the Minnesota Vikings. Trade Home Shoes. Enjoy life. Feet first.
When the game is over, it's time to relax. No matter if it's a win or loss, you always win at Spalon Montage, the Twin Cities' premier salon and spa destination for over 25 years. With convenient locations in Edina, Woodbury, and Chanhassen, there's a Spalon close to you. Right now, football fans, you can get a bonus when you give the gift of Spalon. Purchase a $175 gift certificate and receive a $25 gift certificate for yourself. Visit Spalon.com now or call 952-915-2900.
She's Jam, the ultimate Vikings fan.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Vikings Jam Show fan show. My special guest today is Jared Allen. So, Jared, who you got for the Vikings game this week?
Minnesota Vikings.
Me too. So that's our show. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the Minnesota Lottery, who reminds you this could be your year. Play the new
Vikings
Scratch Game for a shot at $100,000, game tickets, and more. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Paul Sutton Bourbon is a namesake bourbon made by our family for 7 generations. Grain to glass, never sourced. Paul Sutton Bourbon, passed down to be passed around.
Vikings and the Browns in jolly old England. London Bridge is falling down, and hopefully so will Browns quarterback Dylan Gabriel. We'll talk Vikings-Browns tomorrow, noon to 3, right here on The Fan.
The Browns lead the Vikings 17-14 after a 13-play, 69-yard touchdown drive that took 8 minutes, 6 seconds. David Njoku got to the end zone for the first time this season. Now, here's quick trip trivia. Who caught Minnesota's first touchdown against Cleveland in the 2017 London game at Twickenham? Adam Thielen, Kyle Rudolph, Jerick McKinnon, or Stephon Diggs? The answer is A, Adam Thielen, with a sweet soccer slide in the end zone. And he was deemed man of the match by the British media after that victory over Cleveland. Thank you, Quick Trip and QuickTrip.com. Boom. There's Schmidt's kick, and here comes Miles Price, 5'10", 15-20, and he is slowed at the 25-yard line and stopped at about the 26-yard line, a return of 24 yards, and now, trailing 17-14, the Minnesota Vikings offense heads out to the field, and right now you can pick up a commemorative Pepsi Vikings Cup at U.S. Bank Stadium or participating Hy-Vee and or Buffalo Wild Wings locations for your chance to win Victor's Ride or other great prizes. Vikings fans deserve Pepsi, so let's skol. Let's get some Sunday morning skol going for those listening in the Twin Cities and or the vast and ever-expanding audio network all throughout the upper Midwest. 17-14, each team has scored a touchdown in the third quarter. Carson Wentz, he's hit, he's smacked, taken down at the 17-yard line. He did not even see the rusher coming, and that's the first sack for Cleveland today. That's Alex Wright, fourth year UAB, loss of 9.
Yeah, and again, Paul, we're spreading it out, right, finally, and you're not giving Justin School any help, and it's just a drop, and he's holding the football in the pocket, and School just got beat on an inside move. Man, I mean, he got beat badly, and Wentz had nowhere to go with the football. Couldn't even get it off.
2nd and 18. Naylor in motion to the right. Wentz shotgun, four-man rush. He's going to fire it out quickly to his left. It's caught by Jordan Mason at the 18, and he'll get ahead to the 19. So that's going to be a gain of 1 yard. Just a gain of 1 yard, making it 3rd and 17. And for the Minnesota Vikings and the walking wounded, we can go ahead and add another to the list. It's Jordan Mason laying on his back at the 19-yard line. We're going to pause. 2:06 to go in the third quarter. Jordan Mason is down and battered. And the Browns lead 17-14 from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London on the KFAM Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris.
Hey, friends with food allergies. Life is about to get way easier. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Look, let's not argue. You've got enough stress. Just remember this name. Liam's. Liam's. Lee to the ums. As in Liam's frozen entrees that are free of the top 9 allergens. What? Gluten-free, too. Delicious, nutritious, ready in minutes, safe meals for you, your kids, and even those adorable people who can eat whatever they want. Liam's rocks. To find which grocer's freezers are cool enough to stock Liam's, head to saferplate.com.
If you're in the market for a used vehicle, click on carswapusa.com.
We offer easy financing, complimentary oil change, and if you need it, we can deliver it.
Speaking of carswapusa.com,
you can browse hundreds of vehicles from your home.
If you're ready to buy a premium, hand-picked, late model, low mileage used vehicle, then check out your options at
carswapusa.com. We deliver.
Whether you're buying or selling, make CarSwap your first stop. CarSwap, a car for everyone.
When football season kicks off, everything else takes a backseat to sports-venience. That's sports convenience. Running errands? Not sports-venient. Cooking dinner? Not sports-venient. But shopping online is now extra sports-venient thanks to Pays, a fast online checkout offered by banks and credit unions. With Pays, there's no typing in card numbers at checkout, and cards stay in one place, so you don't have to leave the couch. In the name of sports-venience, try Pays today. Learn more at PAZE.com.
Kirill and the Wild open the regular season Thursday night against the Blues. Puck drops in St. Louis at 7 on the audio home of the Minnesota Wild. KFAN.
Scoreboard Central
is brought to you by the Minnesota Lottery. You can play the new Viking Scratch game from the Minnesota Lottery for a chance to win up to $100,000 instantly. Some key injuries here this week. Brock Bowers for the Raiders. He has a knee injury. He won't be playing. Tyrone Tracy Jr. for the Giants. He's out with the shoulder. Lamar Jackson, of course, with that hamstring. He will not be playing for the Ravens. You got Trey Benson joining James Conner out, both of them for the Cards. CeeDee Lamb for the Cowboys. He's out with the ankle. And Alec Pierce also is out. Wide receiver for the Colts, out with a concussion. Now back to PA.
All right, Muss, thank you very much. The final day for the Minnesota Vikings and said traveling party is today in London. This day last week, the Vikings lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers in Dublin. We all left MSP on Thursday very late, got to Dublin very early Friday, and after a week and change, here we are ready to close this two-game European road trip with the Minnesota Vikings trying to run down Cleveland as Carson Wentz heads out to the right side on 3rd and 17, and he's run down by Myles Garrett. Now, it's not a sack because Wentz went to running, but nevertheless, he got a yard. So Myles Garrett, who has 4 sacks this year, not credited with a sack. But each team has scored a touchdown in the third quarter, and the Vikings, after the Browns held the ball for like 8 minutes on their touchdown drive, they are going to be punting with Ryan Wright from the 20-yard line. Snap. Wright with a bomb for a spiral. Holy cow, what a punt by Wright. Flag on the play. Bounces at the 18, 15, inside the 10 to the 5, and it rolls down to the 2-yard line. So that's going to be a 78-yard punt, a career long for Ryan, pending infraction.
Yeah, well, come on.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 28, half the distance to the goal. First down.
78-yard punt by Ryan.
That's exactly what you needed at this time, Paul. And now the defense has got to go out there and stop him.
All right, 56 seconds to go in the third quarter. Following a 78-yard punt by Ryan Wright, the Browns will begin at their 1-yard line with a 3-point lead. Back shortly, it's Vikings football.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that need it the most, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Minnesota deserves a go-to destination for all things high school sports in our state. All the scores, the stories, the stats, live streams, social feeds, photos, personalized team pages, breaking news. One place for everything you're looking for. That's why the Minnesota Star Tribune is launching Strip Varsity. You'll find Minnesota Star Tribune journalism, Minnesota Prep Hub stats and schedules, streams, stories, and more. Strip Varsity is Minnesota's new home for complete high school sports coverage. Sign up today at startribune.com/stripvarsity.
Martin Marietta, an American-based company, is a leading producer of heavy building materials and the top supplier of aggregates and asphalt to the Twin Cities. Guided by values like safety, integrity, and stewardship, Martin Marietta strives to provide the materials on which our communities grow. Visit martinmarietta.com to learn more. Interested in a career with a rock-solid team offering competitive pay and benefits? Visit careersthatcrush.com to apply today. Skol Vikings!
With its smart, sustainable water solutions, Pentair helps the world move, improve, and enjoy water, life's most essential resource. From great-tasting water for homes and businesses, to energy-efficient pumping solutions, and everywhere in between, Pentair is focused on driving innovation that helps people and the planet thrive. Visit Pentair.com to learn how. Pentair, the official sustainable water partner of the Minnesota Vikings. This is Vikings Browns live from London on the audio home for Vikings football, KFAN, The Fan.
56 seconds to go in the third quarter. And the Cleveland Browns lead the Minnesota Vikings 17-14. Dillon Gabriel, the Oregon rookie, has thrown 2 touchdown passes, both to tight ends, Harold Fannin Jr. and David Njoku. Fannin Jr. actually kind of a hybrid H-back / tight end, but now the Browns scrimmage from their own 1. And Dillon Gabriel goes under center, the tailback Quinshon Judkins. They go to Judkins. Javon Hargrave almost got him in the end zone. But Judkins plunges ahead for 1. It's 2nd and 9.
Well, Paul, keep them hemmed up. And this is what we're talking about with all 3 phases, right? The offense goes out. You get a 3 and out, but you get a great punt. You've got this Cleveland offense pinned up. Don't let them out of the shadow of their own goalpost. Make them punt from their own end zone. Get the ball near midfield. It makes it much easier for our offense with a guy like Reichert to get into field goal range and be able to at least tie this football game up.
2nd and 9 from the 2. Straight eye behind Dillon Gabriel. Puts a man in motion to his right. Tailback Judkins. And he gets the call. And he gets out of trouble to the left side across the 5. And then he's upended by Theo Jackson at the 10-yard line. So that'll be a run of 8. And that's the final play of the 3rd quarter. 3rd down for the Browns, deep in their own territory, but they have a 17-14 lead. When we return to a sold-out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London on the KFAM Minnesota Vikings audio network, driven by Polaris.
Vikings fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your home for exclusive coverage of your favorite local teams. And there are more ways to watch this season. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream your hometown teams. Or watch through a TV provider. Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com for details.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our built wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait, get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Based on calendar year total sales.
Eagan, Minnesota is the proud home of the Minnesota Vikings, and it's also the ultimate destination for fantastic fun. Eagan features over 100 unique restaurants and amazing attractions, such as Twin Cities Premium Outlets and the Vikings Museum. And when you stay in any of Eagan's 19 incredible hotels Thursday through Sunday and pick your package, you'll receive 2 free tickets to the Vikings Museum. Other great offers are also available. For complete details, visit enjoyegan.com. That's enjoyegan.com.
Ready?
Set! TCO, for when the Minnesota Vikings need the best sports medicine available.
Ready? Set!
TCO, for partnering with more schools and communities.
Ready? Set!
TCO, for more urgent care locations ready to go. Twin Cities Orthopedics. Ready, set, TCO. Learn more at TCOMN.com.
Ready? I'm Hitman, and this is the audio home of the Minnesota Vikings. KFAN. Back to Vikings football.
Hey, Pete. Yes, Paul. Into the 4th quarter, Vikes trailing by 3, 17-14. If you take away that Cincinnati blowout where Jake Browning and the Bengals had to become throw happy because they were down so much so soon, in 4 games, the other 4 games the Vikings have played, they're giving up 146.75 rushing yards per, including 119 today to Cleveland. And now with a full house backfield and a couple of extra linemen in the game, here at the handoff on 3rd and 1, and the back got hit in front of the line of scrimmage following an extra offensive lineman. That was Judkins. He didn't get it. You're right.
That's Jonathan Grenard, Paul.
There we go.
Selling out on the backside and chasing that thing down from behind and bringing more guys to the show. Judkins is tough to tackle one-on-one.
Yeah.
Jonathan Grenard with a humongous play to make Cleveland punt again out of their end zone. So this should be great field position for the Vikings offense.
Cleveland now 3 of 12 on 3rd down. That was 3rd and 1 behind defensive lineman Aiden Huntington, and the extra offensive lineman. They had 7 pieces of beef there and couldn't run 3 feet. Here's the punt. Miles Price from his own 45 gets to the 50. Now he's into Browns territory to the 45, and he wraps his arms around the ball at about the Cleveland 42 for a 13-yard return against a Browns punt coverage team that allowed a 65-yard punt return touchdown last game to Detroit's Khalif Raymond. It is 17-14 Cleveland, and the Vikings are beneficiaries of high-end field position here. First down from the Cleveland 43, largely due to Ryan Wright's 78-yard punt, a career long for him, pinning the Browns back at the 1.
And Walter Rouse is in at right tackle right now.
Walter Rouse, right tackle. Justin School out of the game.
Now School's at left tackle. I think it's Darisaw that's out.
Oh, yeah, Darisaw's out. School left tackle. Good call. Handoff Xavier Scott right into a couple of Browns, and he is smacked. And
did he fumble it?
He dropped the ball. Yeah. Xavier Scott dropped the ball at the 45. And the side judge is indicating the Cleveland Browns have recovered the fumble.
Rolling on the field was a fumble recovered by the defense.
Holy cow.
Timeout.
Couple of backup offensive linemen in the game. Xavier Scott definitely fumbled. There's a flag, too. There also is a flag.
Yeah, -2 today if this turnover stands.
Well, that was Isaiah McGuire, third-year defensive lineman from Missouri.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 93 of Cleveland. It'll be a 15-yard penalty. First down and 10. Timeout.
All right, so the Vikings are -2 in the take-give today. Cleveland came into the game -6 turnover differential, now is -4, and the Vikings are -2. All right, on the sleep number scoreboard, 17-14 Cleveland, 14 minutes to go in game number 5. This is Minnesota Vikings football.
When a loved one's memory starts to fade, it's more than forgetting names or dates. It's watching pieces of their life quietly slip away. At the Wellshire Memory Care, it isn't just treatment, it's understanding. The team at Wellshire provides specialized support, dignity, and a safe environment where every moment matters. If your family is facing the challenges of Alzheimer's or dementia, the Wellshire is here to walk that journey with you, with compassion and with care. Visit the Wellshire today at WellshireMN.com, WellshireMN.com.
Discover the ultimate destination to live, work, and play at Viking Lakes. From top-tier office spaces in the Minnesota Vikings World Headquarters to exciting live entertainment and luxury apartment living, Viking Lakes has it all. Discover Viking Lakes residences with spacious apartments, best-in-class finishes, and unparalleled amenities. Our community sets the standard for suburban luxury. Are you planning a company holiday party or a fall picnic? Our venue is perfect for any event. For additional information, please visit ExploreVikingLakes.com. Experience suburban luxury like never before.
When it comes to childcare, nothing is more important than peace of mind. At New Horizon Academy, our award-winning infant program provides the highest standard of care so you can rest easy knowing your child is in safe, loving hands. And to make your life easier, our infant tuition covers everything your baby needs, including diapers. No extra charges, no surprises, just one simple, affordable tuition. Ready to make your life easier? Visit nhacademy.net to learn more about our all-inclusive infant care program. Your baby deserves the best, and so do you.
Vikings faithful, listen up. Your game day checklist is more than wearing purple and gold. It's about victory from the first play to the final whistle. During tense, close calls, Dove shampoo, body wash, and deodorant keep you fresh and dry from head to toe. And what's a true Vikings tailgate without the secret weapon to sliders and sides? Hellman's Real Mayo. Then when post-game dishes pile up like a defensive line, 7th generation detergent is the powerhouse that blitzes through the grease and grime. Stock up on Dove, Hellman's, and 7th generation. And Skol Vikings.
Hey, it's Meat Sauce here. I don't want to name names, but it looks like a few of these guys went on the Jack the Ripper tour too late. More humor like that tomorrow, 5:30 to 9 on The Fan.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Vikings football.
This is Vikings Browns live from London on the audio home for Vikings football. FM 100.3 KFXN, Minneapolis, St. Paul, The Fan.
Well, both running backs for the Vikings have lost fumbles, and now Cleveland has it 1st and 10 from its own 30. Dillon Gabriel, pistol formation, tries a screen right, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. With Christian Darrisaw out of the game that last series, let's go to Ben to learn why.
Yeah, I was told officially that this is a planned situation called a pitch count, if you will, that he took a lot of snaps in this last game. They are just being very strategic about getting him back to full speed and 100% to play a full game. And I don't believe that this is going to be a full game situation for today. I think this is going to be a series-by-series situation here in this fourth quarter.
Boy, the moving company is already so threadbare. Walter Rouse entered at right tackle. On 2nd and 10, handoff Quinshawn Judkins stood up at the line of scrimmage. He was able to drive Vikings to the 34, make it the 35, and finally Byron Murphy Jr. and Theo Jackson bring him down. After a gain of 6 that should have been 2, it's now 3rd and 4. Browns are 3 of 12 on 3rd down.
Paul, what Judkins is doing, he's taking his handoff downhill fast. And then as he gets to the line of scrimmage, he's just going to hop and cut back and wait for who overplays what in front of him. And then he puts that head down and turns those legs, and it's been tough to bring him down.
It's 3rd and 4. Jerome Ford, the tailback to the left of rookie Dillon Gabriel. Now Ford jumps over to the right on 3rd and 4. Minnesota rushes 4. Gabriel straight in the pocket. Sacked once, gets away from Grenard, and finally is taken down by Ivan Pace Jr. In fact, that's going to end up being a sack for Ivan Pace Jr. as he caught Gabriel before the line of scrimmage. Grenard nearly had him for a deeper loss. But the Vikings on 3rd down the last couple of times have come up really, really big. Trailing 17-14, Bojorquez to punt.
And Dillon Gabriel, Paul, had nowhere to go with that football. So great answer by the defense. The offense turns the football over. Defense goes 3 and out. We're going to exchange some field position here maybe, but what an answer by this defense.
Oh! Bojorquez gets his punt off. Big rush came up the middle by Eric Wilson, who demonstratively near the parabolic mics clearly was frustrated. He didn't block that punt. I mean, he missed it by inches. Nevertheless, the punt goes out of bounds at about the 27-yard line, and we pause. Sleep number scoreboard. Browns 17, Vikings 14. Vikings ball with Carson Wentz when we return to the KFAN Minnesota Vikings audio network, driven by Polaris.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our built wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait, get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Based on calendar year total sales.
You're listening to Vikings football.
This Minnesota Vikings season, touchdowns are great, but sacks are better. That's because Buffalo Wild Wings has given away 6 free wings with a $10 minimum purchase anytime the Vikings get 2 or more sacks in a game. This Sacks for Wings promotion is valid 3 days after each qualifying game at participating Buffalo Wild Wings throughout Minnesota and surrounding areas. Get your 6 free wings on top of great drink specials, including new happy hour and late night offers throughout football season at your local B-Dubs, a preferred sports bar of the Minnesota Vikings.
Looking for weekend plans? The Artisan Home Tour invites you to step inside Minnesota's most exceptional residences homes designed with unmatched craftsmanship, timeless style, and the kind of detail that takes your breath away. 21 custom Artisan homes are open for you to explore this October, Fridays through Sundays, noon to 6. Don't just imagine extraordinary living. Walk through it and meet the talented builders and remodelers behind the design. Get tickets at artisanhometour.org. That's artisanhometour.org.
As a leader in innovative ingredient solutions, Sam Nutrition offers a unique personal touch that only a family-owned business can provide. As your trusted partner in animal nutrition, we source the highest quality ingredients, ensuring you achieve optimal results. Discover how our family values drive us to connect industries and unlock peak performance across your entire operation with Sam Nutrition. Learn more by visiting samnutrition.com. Sam Nutrition, high performance, reasonable price, a proud partner of the Minnesota Vikings.
This is Vikings Browns from London, live on The Fan. Here's Paul Allen.
All right, let's go with these Vikings in the fourth quarter. 12 and a half minutes to go in the game. They trail 17-14. Get ready for kickoff with a pothole pizza only from Quick Trip. And grab a slice wherever you listen to the game. Available now at U.S. Bank Stadium. And now is the perfect time to score the Hyundai car or SUV you always have desired. See your Twin Cities Hyundai dealer today. And a leader on the sideline, Pete Bursich, and yours truly, Paul Allen, high atop Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with 12 and a half minutes to go. The Vikings have the ball 1st and 10, and it is a toss left to Jordan Mason, and he turns it up between the numbers and the hash marks at the 24, and he gets to the 25, which is the line of scrimmage, so it'll be a gain of 0, making it 2nd and 10, and the Vikings go no huddle. They scurry to the line of scrimmage. Walter Rouse, the right tackle. Justin School, the left tackle, and that's by design. Joe Huber, still the left guard. Blake Brandell, the center. And Will Fries, the right guard. That's your makeshift Minnesota moving company. Wentz under center. On 2nd down, straight drop. He's going to throw to the right side, nearly intercepted, incomplete. Grant Delpit left his feet in Superman mode. Jordan Addison just kind of stood there. Probably could have done a better job to come back to the ball. 3rd and 10.
Yeah, great job by Delpit to just read where Wentz was going with the football. They're letting him play center field, and that's 2 plays in a row where Cleveland had 6 guys on the line of scrimmage. They're pinning their ears back and getting aggressive. Jim Schwartz has done an outstanding job since 2023. He's only allowed 297 yards per game on average, which is the fewest in the NFL.
3rd down, 3rd and 10. Vikings 1 of 5 on 3rd down. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Xavier Scott to the left of Carson Wentz. Straight drop. Throws one over the middle to Jefferson. Caught at the 45. Ooh! He almost spun clear for a 75-yard touchdown. But a Browns saved the day for the home team. That's still a 1st down for the Vikings to the 36-yard line. And it's a 39-yard connection. Wentz to Justin Jefferson.
And, Paul, that is the definition of a 50-50 ball. He had a defender right in his face. He was getting ready to be hit by Mason Graham. He just let that thing fly. And what a job by Justin Jefferson to go up and make that ball his.
17-14 Cleveland. Wentz back to pass. He's going to throw it between the numbers and the hash marks to Justin Jefferson at the 35. And Jefferson with a sweet move to the right gets to the 32-yard line. So that's a gain of 5, making it 2nd and 5. And it bears repeating because we watched so much practice this week that the work between the numbers and the hash marks was an A topic for Kevin O'Connell's offense all week in practice. We've seen it a bunch today, including there.
Yeah, we have, and that's a factor and a function of what Cleveland likes to do defensively.
2nd and 5 for the Vikings, trailing by 3 in the 4th quarter. Wentz, he's going to roll out to the left, throw a fastball to the left, incomplete to Josh Oliver. He was right there with Greg Newsome, who may have stopped him behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, Wentz threw that pass 100 miles per hour, 3rd and 5.
That was a bootleg, and Cleveland was pretty much ready for it. They had somebody right on Oliver. It's hard to run the bootlegs and get outside when they're changing from this 4-3 type of a front, going more to a 5-man look, and you have people already out there in the flat.
Right.
And so Wentz just tried to fire that thing in there because there was very little room for him.
Myles Garrett stands up in the A-gap between Fries and Brandell. Now he gets down into a stance on 3rd and 5. Minnesota is 2 of 6 on 3rd down. Wentz under pressure, and Carson Wentz is sacked at the 33-yard line. That's a loss of 1. And the sack goes the way of Malik Collins. Malik Collins, 10th year in Nebraska, 2.5 sacks on the season. And Will Reichert walks into the game, attempting to tie it from 51. Reichert, 8 of 8 on field goals this year, 3 of 3 from 50+. And it's 17-14 Cleveland. It's going to be a 51-yard try, right hash. Snap, spot. Reichert, line drive is no good. He missed it right. Snap was a little high. Looked like Wright got it down okay. But Reichert has missed for the first time this year. 9:41 to go in the 5th game of the season. Cleveland 17, Minnesota 14 on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris.
NFL fans, when it's time to get Vikings tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty with Ticketmaster. With 100% verified tickets available all season long, you can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. So, get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Vikings.
Are you a building owner or manager looking for a top-notch commercial property maintenance provider? Look no further than Curbside Landscape and Irrigation. Established in 1998, we service some of the most prominent commercial properties in the Twin Cities, including the campus at Viking Lakes. From snow removal to landscaping and so much more, we've got you covered. Need our services or looking for a career in this industry? Contact us today at www.curbsidelandscape.com.
This is how your feet feel in a pair of bad-fitting shoes. And this is how your feet feel in a pair of great-fitting shoes from Trade Home Shoes. Trade Home Shoes, proud partner of the Minnesota Vikings, has been delivering premium footwear for over 100 years. We are Minnesota-based, employee-owned, and here to help your whole family find shoes that fit. Trade Home Shoes. Enjoy life. Feet first.
Huddle up, Vikings Nation. Don't let that Skol chant fade. Let it echo through the hallways, the bars, the stadium, and the city. Because when the Vikings score 2 or more touchdowns, you'll get a free Big Mac with a purchase of $2 or more. Only in the McDonald's app. Offer valid once per person the day after the Vikings score 2+ touchdowns through 2/28/26 at participating McDonald's. Excludes tax. Must opt into rewards.
I'm Justin Jefferson, and this is the audio home of the Minnesota Vikings. KFAN. Back to Vikings football.
All right, so Will Reichert missed from 51. He's 8 of 9 this year. And with 9:41 to go, the Cleveland Browns lead the Minnesota Vikings 17-14. Ryan Wright, earlier this half, had a 77-yard punt. That's the longest in the history of the Minnesota Vikings. Quinshon Judkins, the tailback in there now. Rookie from Ohio State, has 95 rushing yards. That's a career high for him, besting his 94 in a victory over Green Bay. And Judkins gets the call, and he's able to elude Jonathan Grenard. Flag comes in late as Judkins dives ahead to the 40. 72 mugged Jonathan Grenard.
Holding. Offense number 72, that's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
But it's almost like Grenard had to lobby for the guy to drop the flag.
Yeah, he did. He threw it very late, and it's a definite run-stopping type stunt where you take Grenard and you let him kind of sneak himself in and then just spike underneath the tackle. And he got right past KT Levinston, and he just grabbed onto his back and kind of rode him to the ground. So nice job, but defensively making some adjustments, Paul, to try to stop the run.
10 penalties, 78 yards on Cleveland, leading 17-14, 9:15 and counting to go in the game. Gabriel, play action, and the rookie throws a fastball over the middle to David Njoku, caught at the 37. Near side, he gets to the 40, plows to the 42. So that's going to be a gain of 11, making it 2nd and 9. Njoku has a receiving touchdown. So does Harold Fannin Jr. Those are the 2 touchdowns for Cleveland.
And for Gabriel, Paul, he's done a pretty good job in the middle of the field. That's where most of his throws have been going. So protect the middle of the field, and try to sneak, slip this kid up a little bit.
2nd and 9 as Dylan Gabriel goes under center. The tailback, Quinshon Judkins. 3 receiving options to the right. Jerry Jeudy to the left. Handoff, Judkins spins around the right side. That's effortless. Gets to the 45. Stiff arms Isaiah Rodgers at the 50. And finally runs out of bounds at the Vikings 44-yard line. So that's going to be a rushing first down of 14 yards by Quinshon Judkins. That is the first 100-yard game of that young man's career, and he is gifted.
And, Paul, we were messed up from before the ball was even snapped. They had lined up 3 receivers in a bunch formation on the outside, and we had nobody that had contained against the run. So it had to have been a missed alignment by somebody on our defense.
Middle of the 4th quarter, first down for Cleveland from the Vikings 44. Gabriel back to pass. He's going to throw too hot to the right side to David Njoku at the 42. Might have gotten to the 40 max, but nevertheless, kind of a miscue by Dillon Gabriel, throwing it too hard, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing, Paul. It's the run, the downhill runs, and then a lot of bootlegs and a lot of backs out of the backfield or tight ends out of the backfield, just trying to take advantage of flare control, flooding one side of the field as opposed to the other. We're not just getting enough bodies out there.
Gabriel goes out of the shotgun, stands 5'11". He's a Honolulu native, and he's had a pretty good game. It's a gun run to Quinshawn Judkins, who plows up the middle across the line of scrimmage. Dallas Turner, along with Jalen Redmond, able to bring him down. It's a run of just a couple of yards. So we're middle of the fourth quarter. Stefanski and the Browns are chewing on the clock. And this is the newest, biggest play of the 5th game of the season. Cleveland 3 of 13 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 8. Into the game, teams attempting to get first downs on 3rd and 6 and longer were 2 of 26 against the Vikings. Judy in motion to the left. 1 receiver right, 3 left. Gabriel facing a 5-man rush. He's going to loop one left side, incomplete. Threw it out of bounds. Isaiah Bond, the intended target, covered by Byron Murphy Jr. And the Vikings are able to slow and stop Cleveland at the Minnesota 42-yard line. So Stefanski, former Vikings offensive coordinator, 2-time coach of the year, he's going to punt Bojorquez, try to pin the Vikings inside the 20, 15, or 10, and let one of the very best defenses in the NFL win this game.
Yeah, that's exactly the plan. Now, Bojorquez has had a rough day today, Paul, so let's hopefully he makes a mistake here and we get decent field position.
Snap to Bojorquez, big rush. Left-footed punt. Bounces inside the 5, tapped at the 1, and downed at
touchback.
Touchback. Wow, that was close. Wonderful play by the Browns, but then the guy who fell on it, Rex Unahara, the long snapper. Holy cow, did the long snapper get down there fast. His right foot went into the end zone, I believe, and thus it'll be a touchback, but maybe under review.
Yeah, it was McMillan, I believe, it just took a swing at the ball and able to and just hit it back into play. So what a brilliant play by him. Nope, his foot did slide into the end zone. So that's a bit of a break for the Minnesota Vikings offense. They still have to go 80 yards, Paul. And
I just can't believe how fast that Sunahara was.
Yeah, you don't block. You let those guys cover. If you're going to leave somebody uncovered, you let the long snapper go, and they're getting more athletic because they don't have to be as big as they used to be. And man, you're right though. He did get down there.
All right, now as Ben Lieber reported earlier, Christian Darrisaw left the game in the 3rd quarter by design. It's the old pitch count bit. And Walter Rouse is still in at right tackle. Justin School flipped from right tackle to left tackle. The Vikings are already down center Ryan Kelly, replaced by Blake Brandell, playing his first NFL game at center. Joe Huber is the left guard, with Donovan Jackson and a wrist injury out until after the bye. This is Joe Huber's first start. And Carson Wentz has all of that in front of him. It's a makeshift moving company. 1st and 10 from the 20 after the touchback. And out of the shotgun, handoff Jordan Mason. Tried the middle, spun it out right across the 20. Taken down at the 24. It's a run of 4. It's 2nd and 6.
And a lot more success running against the 4-man front. Cleveland in the last drive, they were bringing guys off the edge, kind of a 6-man rush type of a look, and I think they're kind of going back. They're a little bit to a prevent type look, a middle open. I hadn't seen a lot of middle open defenses. That last play was, and it was a good run.
Justin Jefferson slot right. He has 102 receiving yards. Wentz back to pass. He'll throw to the right side. Caught T.J. Hawkinson at the 30, and the lanky tight end will reach out to the 31 for a Minnesota Vikings first down and a 7-yard catch.
When these Cleveland Browns play zone, it's been really, really clear for Carson Wentz and for our offense, and it's the sneaking in of man-to-man when they're in 3rd down, and those kinds of things have been a problem. But if the Browns continue to play zone, we might just be able to pick them apart slowly and get down the field.
17-14 Cleveland, 5:49 and counting to go in the game. Jalen Eller in motion to the left. Wentz facing a blitz. He gets it out quickly to the right side. Caught. Jordan Addison in front of Denzel Ward at the 36. Gain of 5. 2nd and 5.
Exactly what I was referring to. So they zone blitz on that last play. You get one-on-ones on the outside. Carson Wentz is making a fast decision. No, these are not netting us 15, 20 yards. They're not chunk plays, Paul. But it's the best I think this offense can do right now with the offensive line situation. You got Rouse in a tackle. These plays have to be made and decisions have to be made quickly.
2nd and 5 with 5:15 to go in the game from the Vikings 36, trailing by 3. Handoff, Jordan Mason gets a nice block out to the right side, first down to the 40, gets to the 45 to the 50, and he can't spin away from the safety, Hickman, but it is an explosive run of 19 yards by Jordan Mason, first down.
That's just the old school draw play, Paul. You take the snap, the running back kind of steps up slowly. Might have had a flag.
Holding.
Are you kidding me?
Offense number 60. That's a 10-yard penalty.
There was not even...
Second down.
Joe Huber.
I don't know where that one came from, Paul, because I didn't see the flag on the field and definitely didn't see it during the run. But Joe Huber getting called for that one. And now... Again, once you start getting a little momentum, it's either the turnovers or the penalties that get you. And it was him on Schlesinger. And
good call?
Not really. I don't think so.
Well, the 19-yard run nullified, so now it's 2nd and 5. And we're back to the... No, it's longer than that. We're back to the 29-yard line. So they're going to back it up 7 more yards, making it 2nd and 12. 4:55 to go in the game. Vikings postgame with a must follows the game. Kevin O'Connell will have his postgame press conference. You'll also hear from Carson Wentz. Then Vikings fan line with Nordo and Ron Johnson. 5:05 to go in the game. Browns are 1-3. Their only victory in walk-off fashion at the Dog Pound against Green Bay. Minnesota 2-2. Into the off week next week. Then the champion Philadelphia Eagles come to U.S. Bank Stadium 2 weeks from today. 2nd and 13. Wentz out of the shotgun. It's a tight end screen to T.J. Hawkinson right side, and it's blown up by the Cleveland Browns. Hawkinson caught it, and he got to the 25, but that's a loss of 1. It'll be a tackle for loss for the Browns defense, and that's Devin Bush, their leading tackler. So now it's going to be 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and right around 11 from the 25. Minnesota 2 of 7 on 3rd down, and they hustle to the line of scrimmage with 4:24 to go in the game. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Jordan Mason hears something from Carson Wentz and heads out to the right to become slot right. Cleveland rushes 4. Carson Wentz is taken down. He's sacked for a 3rd time today. They rushed 4. Malik Collins got the 2nd sack for him this game. He has 3.5 this season. Clock runs with 4 minutes to go, and Ryan Wright is punting.
That's just a spin move on Joe Huber and beat him cleanly. So they got the center to slide away from Huber, get him one-on-one, and Malik Collins with the sweet spin move, able to bring down the quarterback. And again, Paul, it's tough to do with this defensive front to isolate your offensive lineman.
Oh, especially when 4/5 of the Minnesota Moving Company are backups. Wright's punt bounces at the 43, and it's fielded at about the 35, and the returner heads out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. So, 3:27 to go in the game. Cleveland leads 17-14. Each team has 3 timeouts, and Cleveland, with this rushing attack today, it's slowed a little of late, but Quinshon Judkins, 21 runs, 111 yards. That's 5.5 per with a long of 32. Jerome Ford has run it 5 times for 18 yards. Malachi Corley, an elevated receiver from the practice squad, 1 run for 11 yards. And for Judkins, it's his first 100-yard rushing game. Two tight ends to the left, first down, handoff Judkins. And Eric Wilson snipped it out beautifully and captured him behind the line of scrimmage.
Timeout. Minnesota, 30-second timeout, 3:24 in the game clock.
Kevin O'Connell will use the timeout after that TFL. 2nd and 11 here. Let's go to Must at Scoreboard Central.
Thanks, GA. It's brought to you by U.S. Bank, the official bank of the Minnesota Vikings. So we get the bye week, and then we host the Eagles coming up in a couple of weeks. Eagles, today, they actually get Lane Johnson back active after leaving week 4, so they're getting healthier there. They, of course, will be taking on the Eagles and the Broncos. Sorry about that. Eagles take on the Broncos. Eagles 4-0. Broncos 2-2. That game coming up here at noon. Back to you, PA.
Thanks, brother. And the Denver Broncos play in London next week. In fact, they're going to be at Hanbury Manor, the Vikings team hotel, beginning on Tuesday. 2nd and 11 for the Browns. With a 17-14 lead, Dylan Gabriel hands it to Quinshawn Judkins, and Javon Hargrave swallows him up. Dallas Turner also finishes off Judkins. That's a loss of 1. So now it's 3rd and 12 as O'Connell will use his second of 3 timeouts, trailing 17-14 in a game. Will Reichert, nobody's going to be mad at Will Reichert. He had a 62-yarder earlier this season, and he's been fantastic. But he did miss his first field goal this season. It was from 51, and that took place in the 4th quarter. So it could be a tied game, but it's not.
Well, you got an opportunity here for the defense to step up again. You got a rookie quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. I would expect Cleveland to keep this thing somewhere in between the hash marks. Maybe all of his throws to the outside have been very well off the mark. So we'll see.
The Vikings go nickel, 3 corners in. Okuda, Murphy Jr., and Isaiah Rodgers on 3rd and 11 from the 40. Dylan Gabriel out of the shotgun, takes the snap, and the lefty throws aimlessly, and it goes out of bounds. Isaiah Bond, the intended receiver. So that didn't take much time off the clock. In fact, because of the timeouts, I think the whole operation took 10, maybe 12 seconds. And Bajorquez is in to punt. But if you noticed, whenever Dylan Gabriel misfires by like 5 to 10 yards, it's fellow rookie Isaiah Bond is the intended target.
That's exactly where he was going to go. Bond was being defended by Byron Murphy Jr., and the ball was thrown way before the break and way off from where the break was. So that was not a great connection between those 2 rookies.
Good snap to Bajorquez. High punt. Miles Price eyeballs it. Brings it in at the 17. Cannot shake away from a bunch of Browns. Gets to the 19. And with 3:05 to go in the game, the Minnesota Vikings have 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning and are trailing 17-14. Carson Wentz, 16 of 25, 165 yards. Jordan Mason, 12 runs, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Xavier Scott, 5 runs, 18 yards, and Mason fumbled, and Xavier Scott. They have both running backs that fumbled, and they both were costly. But the percentage of teams winning games when they are -2 in the turnover differential, it's below 10%. So the Vikings are trying to overcome that.
Yeah, they are. And defensively, I think they've done a pretty good job in trying to hem up and get good opportunities for our offense, Paul. And this is where you get worried. If you're going to try to block these 4 defensive linemen with our 5 offensive linemen, it's a mismatch.
Carson Wentz out of the shotgun. Low snap from Brandell. Handoff Mason, room up the middle. He's between the hash marks to the 20-25 and is chopped down at about the 29-yard line. Run of 9, 2nd and 1, and your Minnesota Vikings are in a hurry. 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning left. It is 2nd and 1 from their own 29, trailing 17-14 from Tottenham Hotspur. Wentz out of the shotgun. Mason by his side. 2 receivers left and right. Carson sacked 3 times. He's going to throw out to the left. Caught Jalen Naylor at the 31. So that's a gain of 2 yards and a first down for the Vikings. And he could not get out of bounds. He tried desperately, but a Brown held him in smartly. And now Carson Wentz and the Vikings with the makeshift Minnesota Moving Company. 4/5 of the start starters out of the game. Wentz back to pass, trailing by 3. He's going to throw sidearm right side. Hawkinson caught at the 35 and stopped at the 37-yard line. Quick hitting gain of 6, and that should get us to the 2-minute warning. Wentz hustling his mates to the line of scrimmage, but that's the 2-minute warning. Cleveland leads 17-14. The Vikings are at their own 37 with a chip, chair, and a chance to run down these Browns at Tottenham Hotspur in North London on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Audio Network, driven by Polaris.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our built wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait, get behind the wheel of a new Ford today, based on calendar year total sales.
She's Jam, the ultimate Vikings fan.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Vikings Jam Show fan show. My special guest today is Jared Allen. So, Jared, who you got for the Vikings game this week?
Minnesota Vikings.
Me too. So, that's our show. We'd like to thank our sponsor, the Minnesota Lottery, who reminds you this could be your year. Play the new
Vikings
Scratch Game for a shot at $100,000, game tickets, and more. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
For the Vikings, growth is a team effort. Coaches maximize performance. Teammates push your limits. But in business, who's there to help you grow? Lumen. That's who. Like saving live broadcasts from lag time, helping deliver the in-stadium experience for fans with millions more around the globe, and bringing all the benefits of the cloud to your network, so it's as secure as a defensive line and as legendary as the fans that cheer them on. Welcome to the on-demand network that meets your demands. Learn more at lumen.com. Services not available everywhere.
Hey, Vikings fans, are you ready to grow your own Super Bowl team? GPAC has 34 years in the recruiting game, and we're here to help you source top talent across multiple industries nationwide. Don't wait on the sidelines. Visit gogpac.com today. That's GOGPAC.com. GPAC, your friends in South Dakota and proud supporters of the Minnesota Vikings. Skol Vikings and go GPAC.
This is Vikings Browns from London, live on The Fan. Here's Paul Allen.
It's nervous time at Tottenham Hotspur. Cleveland 17, Minnesota 14. 4/5 of the Vikings offensive line out. Christian Darrisaw has been reported on a pitch count, and he hit that number, so he's out. Walter Rouse becomes the right tackle. Why? Because Justin School, replacing Brian O'Neill, had to flip over to left tackle. Joe Huber is replacing Donovan Jackson at left guard. He's still in. Blake Brandell playing his first game as a center in his NFL career. He's still in. And the right guard is Will Fries, old Will Fries. He's made all the snaps and all the dances through the first 4. 2 minutes to go in the game. Minnesota with 1 timeout remaining. 2nd and 4 from their own 37 as Carson Wentz goes back to pass. And he throws over the middle. Caught TJ Hawkinson. 87 is coming up big. Caught it at the 50. And he'll rally to the 48-yard line for a 14-yard first down gain.
That's Carson Schlesinger, the rookie, just losing his angle because of disguise, and with enough time still left in this game, you're able to hit a big play across the middle of the field.
Wentz shotgun, first down, throws right, and it's caught by Justin Jefferson at the 26 on Denzel Ward, and that reception was spectacular. Couldn't get out of bounds, 21-yard hit. Vikings with 1 timeout remaining, trailing by 3. 1:15 and counting to go, 1st and 10. 1st and 10 now from the Cleveland 28. Carson Wentz trying to put a dirty L on these Cleveland Browns.
First charge, timeout. Cleveland, 30-second timeout.
Paul, I've talked about it all day with Carson Wentz and just the ball, those 50-50 type balls that he's been throwing to JJ on the sideline have all been exactly in the right spot. It just hadn't worked for whatever reason. On that last play, he saw the one-on-one on the outside. Denzel Ward could not have been any closer to Justin Jefferson, and that ball was just perfectly thrown on the back shoulder. You could hear it hit Justin Jefferson in the shoulder. because he was all tied up with Denzel Ward and able to come down with that. So what a beautiful throw and catch. And that's when we need it. JJ, 123 receiving yards today on 7 receptions.
With 11 targets, and that last one was massive. First down for the Vikings from the Cleveland 28, 17-14 Cleveland. Vikings have 1 timeout remaining. Carson Wentz stands tall with an empty backfield facing a 4-man rush. He's going to throw hot to the left side. Caught Jalen Naylor at the 25, and the man they call Speedy rolls out of bounds at the 23. Quick hitting gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5, and Naylor got out of bounds to stop the clock. Well done, young man.
Yeah, great job by Jalen Naylor on the outside, Paul. So the way you think of it here is you just don't want to take a sack and go backwards. You're definitely in field goal range. So worst case scenario in here, you're going to be kicking to tie this football game up.
2 receivers left and right. 2nd and 5 from the Cleveland 23. Wentz shotgun 4-man rush. He's going to swing it out right. Caught by Mason at the 25, and he stumbles his way to the 21, and he got out of bounds. They say he got out of bounds. Well, that's a very, very fortunate call for the Minnesota Vikings. It's a 2-yard gain. I thought Mason's knees were down before he got out of bounds, but I'm not the side judge.
And that's one of those situations where they're stopping the clock for some reason.
Oh, it was stopped. They say Mason got out of bounds.
They're over here talking to Coach O'Connell, so they're kind of my point is they're standing over the ball and whistling it. So,
well,
the play clock isn't moving.
Oh, I see. Well, 57 seconds to go in the game, but the side judge waved his hands in the air like stop the clock. He didn't do the third base coach round with the guy rounding third. Here's Scott Novak. No, or not. Scott faced the crowd like he was going to chat. Here we go. What do you got here, Scott?
He's thinking about it. What's he going to do? What are we doing here?
I have no idea. But the Browns are getting a rest. O'Connell is livid.
After review, the runner's knee was down inbounds.
I could call that a mile away.
Clock was at 59 seconds.
Yeah.
Cleveland is elected to take a charge timeout.
Cleveland?
So we do not run 10 seconds. So second charge timeout for Cleveland. Play clock will be at 25. Game clock at 59.
Yeah, that is the right call. We could see it all the way up here. We're basically in Birmingham compared to where this game is played, but even my 59-year-old eyes can spot that.
Yeah, but why would Cleveland take the timeout?
Well, because
they're thinking about getting the ball back already.
Yeah.
They got 59 seconds left, though.
Well, yeah, but you can run that thing down 30 and make it a 29. So, no, I understand. So now, Cleveland and the Vikings each with 1 timeout. It's 3rd and 3 from the Cleveland 21-yard line. 17-14 Cleveland. Carson Wentz goes under center. 2 receivers right, 2 receiving options left. Jordan Mason, the tailback. Takes the snap. Wentz back to pass, throws another quickie to the left side, caught by Jordan Addison, and he barely got enough for the first down to about the 16-yard line, but he could not get out of bounds. It's a gain of 5. Final timeout here.
30-second timeout. 54 seconds on the game clock.
So Cleveland is going to use its final timeout. And it's first down for the Vikings from the Cleveland 17. Cleveland leads 17-14. Like Pete said earlier, worst case scenario, you should be trying for a field goal here. If that's the case, Reichard 0 of 1 today. He missed from 51.
Well, and the difference is now with 1 timeout left for the Vikings, you don't have to throw the football to the end zone, Paul. You can throw it short. You can maybe get someone to run it in. It gives you a lot more options for play calling when you had that timeout left in your pocket. So, yeah, Cleveland's trying. I know Cleveland's trying to give themselves some time, but they may have allowed the Minnesota Vikings too much of a playbook.
First down from the 17. Mason flexes out of the backfield to the right. They're going to run a screen to Addison. Caught it at the 20. Shakes the tackle at the 15. Taken down at the 13. Quick hitting gain of 4. Clock runs. Cleveland cannot stop it. The Vikings have 1 timeout remaining. It is 17-14 Cleveland. 38, 37, 36, 35. Wentz on 2nd and 5 from the Cleveland 12. He works out of the shotgun, takes the snap, 4-man rush, throws to the right side, caught! Touchdown! He's the man of the match, and he gives the Minnesota Vikings a 20-17 lead.
This Cleveland defense will challenge you, Paul, even if it's to their detriment. They're rolling up, they're jamming, they're one-on-one on the outside. They're not giving their corners much help. It's amazing. But for Jordan Addison, missing the first quarter of this football game and to end it this way, what a response by that young man. What a great throw by Carson Wentz in the fourth quarter. A couple of great throws.
Big extra point here. Come on, Will. Snap spot. Like Kurt. It's up. And it's good. So the Vikings lead 21-17, 25 seconds to go in the game. And now, rookie Dillon Gabriel is going to have to go a long distance of ground to get a touchdown and beat the Minnesota Vikings. It's 21-17. That possession went 10 plays, 80 yards, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Jordan Addison with his first touchdown this season. Front right of the end zone, and it was tight.
Paul, what a great job by Carson Wentz managing that whole thing. Just those fades, the one to Jefferson for sure was an unbelievable throw. That throw to Addison was an unbelievable throw.
Right.
But getting the football out on time. I mean, Carson Wentz, who we thought we might have lost at halftime with a shoulder injury, he really came back, and that drive was orchestrated by him. And how about that offensive line? I mean, we were not keeping extra guys in. We kept, but it wasn't a situation where you were not going to throw the football with just a 5-man protection. So impressive job by that offensive line in the clutch.
They're going to kick it to Jerome Ford, the less speedy of the two back there with Dylan Sampson. He gets it to the 15, to the 20, gets to the sideline, and he's taken down at the 29, maybe the 30. About a 25-yard return for the veteran Jerome Ford. So here we go. 21 seconds to go in the game. The Cleveland Browns are going to have to go 70 yards or 71 yards to beat the Minnesota Vikings in the shadow of the wire. And what's negative for the Cleveland Browns is their best offensive weapon, Quinshon Judkins, is not going to play because he's not big on catching, but he has more than 100 yards rushing. Jerome Ford's in the game, and Dillon Gabriel takes the snap. He'll step away from the rush, fire center of the field, and it's caught. Isaiah Bond at the Vikings 47, but Cleveland cannot stop the clock. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Dillon Gabriel will spike it. After the 30-yard hit to Isaiah Bond. So we have 7 seconds to go in the game, which means this will be the final play of the game, most likely for the Cleveland Browns. And what's interesting here is they're heading the way at Tottenham Hotspur. That is the same distance the New Orleans Saints were trying to do some damage here in 2022 and got the double doink.
Yeah, Gabriel's protect the middle of the field. I just don't see him throwing anything on the outside.
Second down from the Vikings 49. Minnesota leads 21-17. Gabriel back to pass, bounces around like it's the last play of the game. The lefty's going to heave one into the end zone, and it's bounding about, and I believe intercepted by Isaiah Rodgers with an interception
or an incompletion. Either way,
or incompletion.
I don't know what's going on here. We're waiting to see what's happening. I don't see a flag on the field.
Prior to the ball being snapped, we had an acknowledgement of a timeout for Minnesota. 7 seconds back on the game clock.
Okay.
30-second timeout.
All right. This is back, Paul. I remember back in the day, this is where the ball has to be thrown into the end zone. We'd stick Randy Moss in there. You got to get somebody in there that can jump because David Njoku, some of these, they're big wide receivers. You have to be able to win that jump ball. And this is something that you have to practice. So guys like Jay Ward, Theo Jackson, Harrison Smith, I mean, you have to work on this, and you just want to get the football on the ground. You just, whatever you do, just don't bat it up in the air.
Well, the Vikings have 3 players basically in the end zone: Theo Jackson, Harrison Smith, and Jay Ward. The other 8 are right around the line of scrimmage as Dylan Gabriel tries it again. He's going to throw this one short, and the receiver cannot get out of bounds. And the Minnesota Vikings have improved to 5-0 in London. They'll beat the Cleveland Browns 21-17, and they had to run them down from behind.
Wow, Paul, what a great effort by the Minnesota Vikings. When we got into that fourth quarter and Cleveland was able to take the lead, taking the football down the field, we had them backed up. They still were able to get out of it. I thought we had them pinned up there. And then to lose Darisaw in that fourth quarter on a pitch count, no injuries or anything else. The momentum, I thought, stalled for this Viking team, but they hung in there. And I really, really have to credit Carson Wentz. Yeah, what he was able to do in that fourth quarter, especially those last 2 drives. The accuracy of his throws, being under pressure, still being able to deliver a huge play to Justin Jefferson. That throw to Jordan Addison was a thing of beauty for the touchdown, the go-ahead touchdown. So for me, Carson Wentz comes away from this game with the MVP. His numbers are decent. 25, 34, 236, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. So he's a little bit over 100. But that was the best performance I saw out of him. Not trying to force too many things. Not getting sacked, able to avoid some rushes in the back end, and man, what a great day for Carson Wentz.
Now, Carson Wentz threw a touchdown to Jordan Addison to win it, but the first touchdown pass of the game came from the arm of Cam Akers, who's going to be with Ben Lieber momentarily. Ben, Cam at Florida State was 5 of 8 for 97 yards, so he knows how to throw the rock.
Yeah, he really does. He and I were just talking about the end of this game. I'm down on the field, Cam Akers. I was just fed in my ear your stats in college about throwing the football. We'll get to that momentarily. Let's just talk about that final drive. You had a great perspective on the sideline. What did you see?
I seen a team that was resilient. I seen a team that wouldn't be denied, and we overcame adversity and got the dub.
How about, real quick, we all understand the storyline with that offensive line this whole week. Yeah. It got even a little more thin on the pitch count because we had to get Darisaw out of there. Yeah. How about the protection that they gave Wentz on that final drive?
They prepared. They prepared for it all week. They knew some people were down. We knew some guys were down, and they knew that number could get called, and they were ready. They stepped up, and they were ready for the challenge.
What allowed you guys on that last drive from a passing offense philosophy and X's and O's standpoint to feel so confident going against a really good secondary?
Well, we got KO. He going to dial it up. We got Sticks at quarterback, and we got all the players we need to make the plays. So we got